Shorty mad cause now I'm popping, ain't no way that I can stop it. Spread my wings and now I'm flying, hit the slide and now I'm gliding. They so shocked that I didn't find it, how they not know what the time is when I've been on my go talk. Rappers want my feature but they always tryna lowball. I done picked it up just like a phone call. Wonder why I'm hot, got a cold heart. And I'm on a go, whoa, 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 whoa. I go paint the picture like Mozart. I've been on my go talk. Lately how I'm coming, I got no flaws. They just wanna stop me but I won't pause. The flow like the go wall. I know that they wanting what I got, let them rock, yeah. I tell them go get it when it's hot, don't stop, yeah. I've been down 10 since the drop. I've been heating up, I'm getting hot, got a pot, yeah. I'm gonna be a millionaire, I've been going silly, yeah. Top won't be the ceiling for me, thought that I'ma see you there. Mad that I ain't got the bag, it's alright, I never care. I'm gonna get the last lap, you gon' see me everywhere. They just mad to see that I could really be about it. All these rats and these racks, they see I be stylish. Started at the bottom, now the boy is on the rising. Haters going silent, ain't no one can stop it. I've been on my go talk. Rappers want my feature, but they always tryna lowball. I done picked it up just like a phone call. Wonder why I'm hot, got a cold heart. And I'm on a go, whoa, whoa, whoa. I go paint the picture like Mozart. I've been on my go talk. Lately how I'm coming, I got no flaws. They just wanna stop me, but I won't pause. The flow like the go walk.
So I started from nothing. Even people in your circle will just get to the bluffing. Yeah, they always switch sides, so I can't do the loving. No, I can't do the loving. So they always switch sides, so I can't do the loving. You know, do the dash now. Ayy. So I started from nothing. I got money on my mind and I know that it's coming. I know people switch sides, so I can't do the loving. When you down, they won't ride, everybody just bluffing. Now they hitting on my line, cause they see how I'm coming. And I'm finally doing fine, I've been counting these hundreds. And my baby gon' ride, she is not with the front. So I put in overtime, but look what I'm becoming. You can look me in my eyes, don't believe all the judging. So I do this for my people, we the best, you know. I got lots of problems, I'm just stressed, you know. I'm just praying for the days, I'm counting decimals. I've been riding with my brothers, for the rest they hold. I'm knowing I'ma make it, I just gotta be patient. I done come from nothing, now I'm about to make a statement. Bitches probably want me, but they can't even face it. Ayy, no, they can't even face it. So my brothers about to make it out the basement. If she for me, then she know there's no replacement. I been outside, she see that I'm dripping, little baby know that I'm fly. No love for my city, who thought I'd make it this high? I know they all fake and the real in disguise. I've been to the most, I'm holding all this pain inside. These bitches would dump me, now I don't really gotta try. I'm stuck in all my habits, but I gotta have it. Spend a couple bands on a jacket. All this money on me, I keep stacking. Why they y'all acting? Why they y'all capping? Can't really say much, but I'm back up on my bullshit. You don't got it from my brothers, they with the movement. Keep shit blunt, you cross it, someone get ruthless. I don't got time for no drama, that shit is useless. Got no time for no bullshit, no time for a bitch. If you keep it real, best believe I never switch on you. All the money in the world, I won't switch on you. I could get you all the pearls, diamonds bliss on you. If I got the whole world, I'd be missing you. I could drip you in our money and Divisional too. Got the labels always calling cause we making moves. I ain't stopping till I got it and I swear that shit true. So my brothers better make it out the basement. If she for me, then she know there's no replacement. I been outside, she see that I'm dripping, little baby know that I'm fly. No love for my city, who thought I'd make it this high? I know they all fake and the real in disguise. I've been to the most, I'm holding all this pain inside. These bitches would dump me, now I don't really gotta try. They gon' hate you when you down and I swear that shit true. They gon' hate you when you down and I swear that shit true. They gon' hate you when you down, but we still making moves. Yeah. You know, do the dash now. Ayy.
I can't take it anymore. My mind's about to go to war. I need someone to save me from myself, to hear me cry when I call out for help. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Like a volcano. Blow it up like a volcano. What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you set me free? What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you set me free? Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry, pushing back the tears. Should take a leap of faith and face my fear. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Like a volcano. Blow it up like a volcano.
What is up, everybody? We're back. I'm so sorry about not being on yesterday. I'm being so serious with all of you. I was really sick and under the weather. It came to a point where I had no voice at all yesterday morning. So I felt it was best to just cancel the stream for the day, come back today, and do a late night edition to make up for it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot to review because this is no pushover stuff we're talking about here. Okay, there's a lot of topics. But again, if you're here with me now on this stream, say what's up in the chat, because we're going to get active today. We're going to have a call-in phase today, too. We're going to experiment with that a little bit. So if you guys are here watching and you want to ask some questions about sports, feel free to call into the show. There is a call-in feature I did put in here, so be sure to use that. But in the meantime, let's talk about the topics for today's show. Starting off right out the gate, we're going to lead off with the ALDS NLDS preview. Big series opens up tomorrow. It's going to be lasting pretty much the whole weekend, going into about midweek, depending on if it goes to 5 games or not. But there are 4 series, once again, just like the last round, but we got new teams in action now. We'll go through each matchup, who's got the advantage, who's got the disadvantage, and also, why was I so wrong on my pick about the Rays? I got the entire American League wrong. We're going to dive into that too, because that was a lapse of judgment on my part. The Commanders played the Bears last night on Thursday Night Football and got completely embarrassed. Not me, though. My fantasy team did incredible thanks to DJ Moore. But why were the Bears so successful, and what was the struggle that the Commanders really had? We're going to diagnose that by breaking down the highlights here on the show live today. Lonzo Ball makes the announcement that he's going to be back in the NBA. He's not medically going to retire. He's not going to play this season, but he will eventually be back. Now, do we actually trust the word and believe him, or are we going to question that? That's for us to decide here on the show if he's going to make that return. Back to the NFL again, because it's going to be a mostly NFL-based show today. The NFL defends its obsession with Taylor Swift. You read that right. They actually came out talking about the obsession, the weird thing like, we know we've been using a lot of Taylor Swift, but you know what? She's the most impactful celebrity right now. We're trying to help boost the morale there. And it's like, okay, so you're defending the fact that you're acting crazy like a fangirl. Got it. Loud and clear. We'll go into that and why the NFL's in this obsession. Are they really trying to just get her to do a halftime performance with Usher? We're going to find that out. Towards the end, we're going to do a a college football prospect review early. We're going to do an early one just to see the early highlights about midseason now of what we've seen this year from some of the top quarterbacks in college football. We'll go through them, see who stands out, who falls behind in the pack, and much more. And then we'll close out with the most important segment of all, the NFL Week 9 predictions. I know there are teams who have bye weeks this week, but my record and my reputation is on the line. So I really need to do well. So that's the plan for today. If you guys are excited, go ahead, make it known in the chat that you guys are excited, man. Because I'm excited for this. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Also, if you are new to the channel, tuned in for the first time, there is our follower goal. We're trying to hit 10 followers, start growing this page a little bit at a time. I have a lot of passion for this, a lot of passion for the sports. I don't do subs. I'm going to say that like I say at every stream. I don't do subscriptions because I feel that I shouldn't have to take money from you to enjoy content. You shouldn't have to subscribe to me to enjoy content. That's the truth. That's the beauty of sports. It's a fan talking to a fan. There shouldn't be any money involved. The only value I get out of this is that we get to have a conversation as fans back and forth, a media professional to a fan, having that kind of fun interaction. That's all I value and that's all I want. So a follow is it, and notifications. Just to know when we're going live every morning, weekday morning I should say. I want to specify that, every weekday morning. So that you guys don't miss a single stream. That's the plan. That's all I ask. 10 followers. We'll up the goal a little bit at a time to kind of grow it, but I really am excited for what we have in store with this channel. So if you guys haven't already, please give this page a follow. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. No holding back. ALDS, NLDS is upon us. They start tomorrow at 1 o'clock with our first matchup. But let's talk about those matchups specifically, right? We're opening up tomorrow on 1 o'clock, FS1, the Texas Rangers taking on the Baltimore Orioles. Now you're talking about the number 1 seed, Baltimore Orioles, with the best record in the American League. The Rangers, the number 5 seed in this. The Rangers just came off a series where they got maybe you call it an upset, maybe not, but they took out the Rays at a sweep. No problem for them. Now they're going into a matchup against the Baltimore Orioles, opening up in Baltimore in Game 1. Baltimore is in a weird situation to me personally. I can't decide where they're at. I can't decide if they're going to come out swinging, come out hitting hard, pitching hard. I can't specify that at the moment. It's hard to decide. We do have the pitching matchups already listed for almost every team. The only one who doesn't have it at the moment is the Diamondbacks and Dodgers. But here's what you got to know about the Rays and the Orioles. I mean, the Rangers and the Orioles. Oh my goodness. I still can't get over the fact that I picked the Rays over them. For the record, it will be an iconic moment for this show moving forward. Me picking the Rays to win it all. And they didn't even make it out of the wildcard round. Great job. So, already, Baltimore is slightly favored in this matchup tomorrow afternoon. The matchups between Andrew Heaney and Kyle Bradish. Good matchups for both sides. I mean, with Heaney, he's been on and off this year overall. His ERA is above a 4, slightly. It's like a 4.15. Got 151 strikeouts, 1.38 whip, records like 10-6. He hasn't been bad, but against Baltimore specifically, he has struggled. In 9 innings pitched against Baltimore this year, in 2 games he played against them and started, he allowed 8 runs on 11 hits, 3 walks, 3 homers of those runs, and 5 strikeouts. He has absolutely struggled against this team. Can we say the same for Kyle Bradish? That is yet to be seen. For Bradish, he's coming off a very good year. He's a guy who stepped into that ace role. 12-7, 2.83 ERA, which is the 4th best in the league. 168 strikeouts and a 104 whip. Again, the 4th best in the majors. Now against Texas specifically, in 2 games started and 8 innings pitched, he's got 1 earned run on 5 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Hasn't allowed a homer this year to the Texas Rangers. This is a very good statistic. To know that Bradish has this advantage, That's tilting the scales in favor of Baltimore in this matchup. The pitching alone is important. What kept them alive for so long was that Baltimore had good bats. The bats came to play when the pitching was not at the level it needed to be. But because they have Bradish on the mound against a team he's pitched well against, they should be in the clear. However, we've seen weirder things happen. Heaney could also pitch a gem tomorrow and go through 7 scoreless. A lot could happen. It's the way baseball works. Nothing is predictable by any means. Just 1 second. Sorry about that. Still getting over a cough a little bit. Now, in terms of batting, we did talk about it. The issue I saw with the bats is that overall as this unit, Texas has a more complete roster. That's been stated. Their roster is more complete. They got it more structured, organized, and that's what gives them the advantage. However, my biggest issue with Texas is health and the bullpen. The bullpen has been the issue for Texas since about the trade deadline. They got to roll this Chapman to be their closer to solve the problems and get a guy who could get you the lights out finish to secure wins because he was doing so well in Kansas City. Instead, he's here in Texas struggling just like he was with the Yankees. And do I even continue? Just with the Yankees. That was the problem. He went to the Royals, he looked great. He goes to Texas, he sucks. There's a lot of issues there and things to sort out. But overall, Texas's bullpen is not where it needs to be, and that can be agreed on by pretty much everybody. So can Baltimore take advantage of that? If you knock out Heaney early, you're forcing the bullpen to come out and waste their guys, and you can just pile on the runs with them with no fear of repercussions. Now, here's the important thing to know about Texas in terms of as batting-wise. They've got the second best average as a team in the MLB, which is a 280. The best in the league is the team who was eliminated the last round, which was the Milwaukee Brewers at 309. In terms of homers, they are tied for second in the league with, well, this is in terms of the postseason at the moment. This postseason, they've played very well. 2 wins, ERA at a .5, but they were playing the Rays this time. 2 games isn't really a good gauge. Let's go off the regular season alone. This regular season, the Rangers were still second in batting average as a team at a 263. Only team that was better was the Atlanta Braves. And the Braves were the best in the baseball. So the Rangers were the best in the American League. The team but right behind them was the Rays, and they already smoked them out. So they're good in terms of their bats. Their pitching is not top 5 in any categories, but their bats are top 5 in all of them. RBIs, they're third, number 1 in the American League still, but behind the Dodgers and the Braves. In terms of hits, they've got the second most hits this year behind the Braves. Number 1 in the American League again. And in terms of home runs, they are tied for third with the American League team, the Minnesota Twins. Above the Twins and Rangers is still 2 National League teams, the Braves and the Dodgers. I still believe that the Rangers' offense can come to play here. But Bradish has pitched well against them, so I have a feeling they're going to win Game 1. I think Baltimore's got it. Camden's going to be rocking, and Baltimore's going to have it unlocked, and they're taking Game 1. In terms of the series, here's your issue. Baltimore's got the most wins in terms of pitching, as expected. Because they had the second best record in all of baseball, the number 1 in the American League. If you're talking about ERA leaders, well, the Rays were number 5, but they were eliminated. In fact, every team that's in the top 5 of the ERA in the regular season, as a team, by the way, all are either not in the playoffs or were eliminated from the playoffs already. So that would be the Brewers, who were number 1. They were eliminated. Number 4 was the Blue Jays. They got eliminated. Number 5 was the Rays, and they got eliminated. The only two, right below those top 5 are the teams that are still in. Number 6, the Twins. Number 7, the Orioles. Number 8, the Astros. Number 12, the Phillies. Number 13, the Dodgers. Number 15, the Braves. As you keep going down, the Rangers are middle of the pack on the lower end slightly. Texas, number 18. Diamondbacks, number 20. The weak spot for the Rangers is the pitching. Their ERA is nearly a 4.3 as a unit. You can't have that. Not in this league can you have that. In terms of saves and them saving games, I think they're also down as well. Texas is 27th in the league in saves. The lowest of any playoff team in the playoffs. The lowest of any playoff team. And in terms of shutouts, games where they pitch shutouts, Texas has the 6th most in a 3-way tie with the Guardians and the Cubs, both who are not in the playoffs. But it doesn't really matter because the top 3 in shutouts, the Mariners, Brewers, and Tigers, all are not in the postseason. But the Braves and Dodgers are tied for 3rd as well. If you're talking about in terms of, let's say, earned runs, right? That's what you want to worry about, who lets up the most earned runs. The person who lets up the most earned runs in terms of pitching, the Rangers are 12th. The only playoff teams that allow more is the Arizona Diamondbacks, and it's not by much. Well, it's actually by a good amount. It's about another 31 runs. In terms of homers, is it a boom or bust kind of pitching? What's going on is the question here. In terms of amount of home runs they allow, they're tied for 11th with the Brewers and Blue Jays, who have both been eliminated. But the Astros have allowed a lot of homers, and so have the Dodgers. Everybody else that's above them isn't in the postseason. Who's walked the most batters? That's an even more fair question. Texas hasn't. Baltimore's pitching has been up to standards. Their issue is they're pretty good when it comes to walks. They're like a lockdown group in terms of pitching. I will say that. They're a very good pitching unit. 13th in the league in strikeouts compared to the Texas, who's 23rd. An opponent batting average, the OBA. I like this stat. The top 4 teams are not in the postseason, or were in the postseason, were eliminated. The Dodgers and Twins at 5 and 6 both have the best pitching in terms of opposing batting average allowed. The only other ones that could compete on this were the Phillies and the Astros and the Orioles. The Texas is at 15th. The only teams below them that are still in, again, that have a lower batting average that have a higher batting average allowed are the Diamondbacks. Texas's pitching was very good to start the year, but going into this, it's going to be an issue. Eovaldi, your best pitcher, just pitched Game 2. What are you looking at for Games 1 and 2 to start, and possibly Game 3? We don't know. It's all up in the air. They need to figure something out here, a good strategy to get this started. If they don't come out with a good strategy, the Rangers are going to fall behind. The Orioles will take the series. They need to get the bats going hot. You got to blow up the Baltimore rotation early. Make the bullpen come out and try to save the game. Because no Felix Bautista means you have an opening to exploit everything. So you have to take advantage of it if you're Texas. And you can do that. But you got to blow up on these starters early. Don't chase. Be smart with the approach at the plate. Be smart. Play smart baseball. Don't play hero ball. Play smart ball. That's it. You play with logic. You outsmart them. You use your IQ to get ahead of them and score a couple runs here and there. Next thing you know, boom, the scoreboard's tallying up in your favor. Grab a run here, a couple runs there. Boom, you're at like 5-0 going into the 8th inning. Or maybe it's 5-2, but you've got the run advantage because a little bit at a time every inning. You're playing smart, good base running, and you were doing your job. Hit it into play, put it through the gaps. Don't worry about swinging and going for yard. Don't go yard. Don't worry about it. Focus on getting it into play into the gaps where you know the defenders cannot reach it. That's it. If they play smart ball and the pitching overperforms for Texas, they've got a shot to win this. But as of right now, it's looking like Baltimore's got this pretty handled. But who knows? I thought the Rays were winning the World Series. The next series we're going to talk about, another one, because I do have the stats still here, and we're going to keep going with this. So, later on that day, at 4:45 on FS1 Eastern Time. The Twins and the Astros. This is, again, a big series. Taking the mounds for both squads. You're going to have Bailey Ober for the Twins. And for the Astros, it's going to be Justin Verlander, who is officially back, by the way. Officially back. I'm trying to see if I can find stats of him where he was with the Astros and not with the Mets. And we have that. Since he has come over to the Astros, he's actually gotten worse. I want you guys to know that. Like, overall, his ERA has been solid this year. Still top 10. Great. He came over, it went higher than his numbers with the Mets. I thought that was kind of weird. He's 7-3, 3.31 ERA, still very good in this league. 1.12 whip. He's got, and this is in 68 innings pitched, you're talking 63 strikeouts, 14 walks. His K to walk rate is actually in a decent spot. The same spot it was in 2016 when he was with Detroit and had a 3.04 ERA that year. I mean, his hits, he still allowed a decent amount of hits. His homers, I don't think they're too bad. His earned runs are only about 25 earned runs here. But everything else, he has been very good. I got no complaints for Verlander. They might do a decent job here. Him pitching, he hasn't pitched against the Twins this year. I want to make that known. He hasn't pitched against the Twins. That's the truth. Bailey Ober hasn't pitched against the Astros either. This season, he's been decent. 3.43 ERA, 146 strikeouts, 107 whip. He's been on the better end of pitching. Now, he's been with the organization for a little bit now. He's slowly improved his game. Last year was a better year for him, but he's having a good year this year, nothing to complain about regardless. He actually pitched the most innings this year, 144, the most action he's seen since he came up into the majors. 146 strikeouts, like we mentioned, 29 walks. His K to walk ratio is actually higher than Verlander's, a 5 compared to a 4.4. Very good for him. He's got 125 hits allowed this year in 144 innings, 55 earned runs. Again, for a guy who pitched 144 innings, that's great. That's nothing to look over. He's been very good. It beats the league average. That's what you want. You want to be significantly under the league average in terms of ERA and the runs that you allow. And that's very good for him. Now, if you compare that to what Verlander's pitched this year, Verlander's pitched 162. So for him to give up 58 earned runs is kind of absurd. And that's combined with him with the Mets and now the Astros. I'm focused more on what he's done with the Astros so far because that's the most accurate information you can get about what he's going to look like now. Now, in terms of the other information we were talking about earlier, in terms of pitching, if you're going off the batting average alone, Houston has the 11th lowest allowed. Compare that to Minnesota. Minnesota is actually number 6. So they're better at that. That I will say. They're better. Just outside the top 5 in that category. But again, like I said, everybody in the top 4 is either not in the playoffs or they were eliminated already. That's the Brewers and the Rays at 1 and 2 already eliminated. And the Yankees and Padres didn't qualify at 3 and 4. So how much does it really pay here? In terms of strikeouts, total strikeouts, the Twins have the most strikeouts in baseball in terms of pitching. Their pitching has been that good. There has been no understating how good they've been. In terms of starter ERA, the lowest ERA in baseball, like as a unit, the Astros are 8, the Twins are 6. So the pitching comparing each other is pretty much useless because they're so good. They're both good. They've been good rotations this year. Decent bullpens. Nothing to complain about with either team. It's just been the hitting. The hitting is the problem. If we go off team batting average, right? The Twins are 21st in team batting average. The Astros, in comparison, are higher than that. They're at number 5. All 5 teams that were in the top 5 in batting average as a team ended up going to the postseason. Of that group, only 3 remain in the playoffs. The Braves, the Rangers, who are 1 and 2, and the Astros at 5. You still have the Dodgers in there at 7. You have the Phillies in there at 9 and the Orioles at 10. The lowest team on this list that's still in the postseason is the Twins. Somehow. Their pitching has anchored them into this point. Their slugging percentage is what I think did it, because they're slugging for a 4.27 as a unit. That's 7th in the MLB. In fact, you look through the slugging of these units, the top 7 teams in slugging percentage are all in the postseason, are qualified. Braves, Dodgers, Rangers, Rays, Phillies, Astros, Twins, in that order. And then you go down to the Orioles at 10. You got the Blue Jays at 13. You got the Diamondbacks at 17 and the Marlins at 19. And the Brewers were 25. So a couple outliers, but majority, all of them were in the top 7. Now you go to the OPS. The OPS here, they're also 7th in that aspect. You're talking on base percentage. How often they get on base, that's lower than that. That's at 12th. But Houston still beats them in every category. That's the thing. Houston still got them. I'm actually thinking about the stolen bases. How can you extend your offensive capabilities? Well, I'll tell you how. You got to steal bases. And Houston's 18th. They're middle of the road, just under that. But it doesn't matter because the Twins are worse than that, and they're tied for 23rd in a 3-way tie with the White Sox and the Marlins. They were not good at stealing bases this year. And in terms of how many times as a unit they strike out, the Twins have struck out the most as a unit in batting. Now, how much of it is Carlos Correa? I don't know. But in terms of everything, the Twins as a unit hitting have not been good, which means the loss of Luis Arraez has really been felt in Minnesota. So this is an uphill climb for Minnesota this whole series. But I can easily tell you, I do think that they could compete here. I'll give you that. I think they can compete and steal a game because of their pitching, keeping them alive. They'll have a game where they hit very well. But this isn't going to be too competitive. I've got Houston winning this. They're going back to the championship series, ALCS. They're taking out the Twins. Let's be real. Unless they have some kind of overperformance and the Houston Astros completely fall off, the Twins are losing this series. That's the way it's got to go. So give me the Astros in this series. It's probably going to be a 4-gamer tomorrow. Give the win to the Astros. It's going to be close, though. This is still a close series every game, but it's going to be a 4-game at most. I don't think this goes to 5. Houston's got it locked. Now this brings up another matchup, the third one of the day, starting tomorrow. As we flip to the National League here, 6 o'clock p.m. on TBS Eastern Time, the Philadelphia Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves. This is another good one, folks. The Phillies, the number 4 seed, the wild card, the top wild card, is taking on the Braves in Atlanta. The pitching matchup is as follows. Ranger Suarez for the Phillies against Spencer Strider for the Braves. Here's a little comparison here. Ranger Suarez this year hasn't been great. A 4.18 ERA, 119 strikeouts, a 1.42 whip. That's about league average. If you're going up against a league average pitcher, you're going to get league average results, or maybe above. Above league average results. Now, in terms of pitching against the Braves this year, I cannot find any statistics on how he did against them this year. Let's see, against Atlanta, is it here? No, they don't have it listed for when he played Atlanta. He has not pitched against Atlanta this year. That's what that means, folks. He is one of those pitchers where it can be very interesting to see how things go. Here's his problem, and I'll tell you what it is. When you look at his pitching splits, which are the most important thing, let's talk about the month of September. How did he do? Because that's what I'm concerned about, the month of September. How did he do to close out the year? Well, in 5 games started to close out the year, pitched over 27 innings here, just over, and he allowed a 234 batting average, which was the second lowest that he's allowed at least of any month this year. It's been the best one, the second best. The only bad one was June. But his ERA was not good either. It was a 5.2. So in 5 starts, his ERA was a 5.2. Better than last month, but wasn't really. He allowed 25 hits in 27 innings. Not a good number. In terms of earned runs, 16. 3 homers, 13 walks, 30 strikeouts. Gotta be better. You gotta be better if you're gonna play the Braves. They will eat you alive and treat you like you're worthless and that you're useless to them. You can't do this. The Braves are the top dog. If they go to the World Series and win, we will widely regard them as one of the greatest baseball teams in a single season, despite the fact they only have 104 wins. Let's compare those numbers to Strider. Now, Strider didn't have a great second half. He had the best win-loss record in the league, 20-5. That's great. But his ERA was a 3.86. He was not pitching too great. Again, above league average, that's great. He's playing above the league standard. 281 strikeouts. The kid's a K machine. And the whip is in the top 10 in the league at a 109. Let's go into his splits. Against Philly, he has pitched 4 times against Philly this year. Ranger hasn't pitched against Atlanta this year. So this will be the first time he faces them for Atlanta. And Strider, this is the 5th time they're facing him. In 4 games he's pitched against them this year, 26 innings, he's given up 18 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, and 38 strikeouts. He's been okay. He's been okay against the Phillies. He's been okay. But can that continue is the question. Can that continue? Because if you go off the ERA he's done, right? We're going off the ERA. He's done against Philly. It's a 2.42. It's a 2.42 ERA. And if you're going off a 2.42 ERA, the only teams that he has pitched better against this year are Miami, Minnesota, San Francisco, Tampa Bay, and Toronto. Those are the only teams. Philly is a team he's pitched well against, and he did 4 games. Started all 4 games, didn't lose a single one. He got the win in all of them. 26 innings, 18 hits, 7 runs, 2 homers, 3 walks, 38 strikeouts on the Phillies. And the opposing batting average was a 191. A 191. That's insane. Strider thrives against this kind of team. He's going to pitch very well. And of course the ballpark does matter. They're going to be in their home ballpark. That's important. Now in their own ballpark this year, they have been pretty good. I don't think there's a debate there. I believe in their ballpark in the innings he pitched. I can't find the numbers at home. Let me see if I can find it home. There we go. However, at home this year, he struggled more than he did on the road, interestingly enough. At home, he's got a 4.3 ERA. Little shocking to think about with Strider here. But in 93 innings pitched, 45 earned runs, 11 homers, 24 walks, 153 strikeouts, and the opposing batting average is a 206. He is the epitome of a boomer bust pitcher. You're either taking him deep or he's striking you out. So you got to be prepared and guess what pitcher you're getting. If you're guessing right, you're getting homers. That's what the Phillies have to do. They've got that element of them to be a boomer bust hitting squad. And I like that about them. Now we're going to focus on that hitting because I'm focused on the batting alone. We know both squads can pitch. We know they've got the pitching capabilities. So let's focus on the hits. Phillies have the 8th most strikeouts as a unit this year. How about the Braves? Where do the Braves rank? The Braves rank 25th, which means they are on the low end of strikeouts as a unit this year. That is very good. Very good. The only teams that have better strikeout rates than them, where they strike out the least, is the Marlins, the Diamondbacks, and the Astros. But in terms of teams that are still in, the D-backs and Astros. That's it. They've been very good. In terms of a team batting average, we already know the Braves have the best batting average in baseball at a 276. But where does Philly rank? Number 9. They're still in the top 10 at number 9 with the .256. And on base percentage, Braves, .344. Nothing's going to beat that. But how close do the Phillies get? They're also number 9 here at .327, tied with the Reds. How about slugging? Slugging is another important stat. Braves still at the top at a .501. But let's look at Philly, number 5, .438. They can play up there. They can play to their competition with the bat. But I'm a little afraid of the strikeouts. They're another team that's the definition of, if they're going to swing, you better hope they go yard. You better hope they're going yard. Atlanta, with the OPS, 845, best in the league. The next closest was half of 100.1 behind them. 0.050 behind them. It's unbelievable. The Phillies were number 6, though, at a 765. Not terrible. Still not bad. You're number 6 in the league. Very good, honestly. Homers. This is what we were talking about. Atlanta Braves lead the league in homers as the unit. The only team to reach over 300 this year. They had 307. The Dodgers, in comparison, the number 2 squad, 249. Unbelievable numbers from them this year. However, the Phillies were still in the top 10, number 8 with 220. But how much does that mean when a good amount of these teams aren't in the postseason anymore? Number 9 and 10 are the Yankees and Mets. So, what does that tell you? The Rays were number 6. They're out. The Angels didn't make the playoffs. They're number 5. The top 4, Braves, Dodgers, Twins, and Rangers, all are still in. They're all still in, and they made it to the postseason. So do the Rays, so do the Astros, and the Phillies. So 7 of those top 10 teams made it in. So yes, homers do mean a lot. But can they continue that trend against a good pitching squad? Strider again, a boomer bust pitcher. You better hope you take him yard, because you may not get another chance to hit that ball. That's the way it works with him. And in terms of RBIs as a unit, the Phillies are number 8 with 771 total. The Braves, 916. How about working walks? Who can work the most walks? Can the Phillies do it? The Phillies and the Braves are almost identical in terms of the amount of walks they've worked this year. 539 for the Phillies, 538 for the Braves. And that's all just middle of the pack stats. The walks really don't matter, personally. But if you're looking through the rankings, it's kind of weird. Number 1 was the Padres, and they're not in it. They didn't even make it. But the Dodgers, Rangers, Twins, and Brewers fill out the rest of the top 5, and they all qualify for the postseason. So that's actually really interesting. That's how I view it. And let's see about stolen bases because of how well Acuna did this year. Where do they rank? The Braves are number 10, but the Phillies were better at number 7. So it's going to come down to smart baseball again. If you get on base, make the most of it because you're probably not going to get on again. So you either got to get on, you got to get yard, or you got to, if you get lucky enough to get on base by a walk, be smart, do not get tagged out. You're a good unit. You're 7th in stolen bases this year as a team. Be smart about how you steal. Because if you play smart, you might actually be able to stay alive. And if they get another homer like a Schwarbomb from Schwarber, boom, you got a 2-run shot. You're back in the game. You got an edge early. That's what you need. So that's what you need to see from Philly. I want to see them booming early. You got to be smart if you get on base, if you get that luxury. But I'm nervous about Ranger Suarez for them in Game 1. I still got the Braves in Game 1, and I still got the Braves in the series. Probably going a 5. I think it'll go the full distance. Philly will give them a good fight. But the Braves overall are just that team of destiny. They're going to get past them. They have the team built properly and well-equipped to win a World Series. I don't think the Phillies are that team this year. Give me the Braves in 5. It'll go the distance. That's the biggest compliment you can get is going the distance. And that brings us to our final matchup, which is the D-backs and the Dodgers. 9:20 p.m. Eastern Time, TBS. In this series, the Dodgers have an 80% chance to win, apparently, according to ESPN Analytics, because when has their analytics really been consistently right? Clayton Kershaw is 100% guaranteed to be on the mounds for the Dodgers. Game 1. Guaranteed. He's pitching at home. Beautiful. Arizona is still undecided on who's going to pitch. They haven't announced their starter yet. We will see who that will be, but at the moment, they do not have a probable pitcher. We are waiting on that. So let's look at what's going on with Kershaw. With Kershaw, I don't believe he's pitched against the D-backs this year. If he has not pitched against the D-backs, that's going to leave an opening here. Yes, he has not pitched against the D-backs or in that ballpark. But he is home, so let's talk about how he plays at home. It's actually very interesting because overall, as a pitcher this year, he's still dealing at 35. Dealing very well. 13-5 record, 2.46 ERA, 137 strikeouts, and a 106 whip. You look at the home and away stats, and it's like Jekyll and Hyde. It's actually very interesting. And if it's Jekyll and Hyde because at home he's got a 1.58 ERA, which is absurd, by the way. But away he's a 3.13, which is still well above the league average and very good for a pitcher. But it's not like your home. His home pitching is lights out every time. 7-1 with a 1.58 ERA. 10 games started, 57 innings pitched. He's got 10 earned runs, 37 hits, 8 homers. Most of those runs came off homers. That's the wild part. 11 walks, 64 strikeouts. The opposing batting average is a 1.80. You're not hitting on him. But if you're the Diamondbacks, this is how you got to look at it. When you're looking at the pitching splits, you got to look at where you are in the count. Where in the count can you strike him quick? The answer? The first pitch. I know it sounds weird, but the first pitch from Kershaw is the one to watch because he has a 3.44 average. Opposing batters have a 3.44 average on that first pitch. That's where he's allowed 4 homers this year, 7 RBIs, and he's allowed 4 doubles, 21 hits on the first pitch. They're slugging .607. Opposing batting average of 3.44, OPS of 9.51. Nowhere else in a count do you have a better chance with Kershaw than that first pitch. And it's typically because he likes to hit you with the little breaking ball, and they know it's going to break, and they know what spots he likes. So they take advantage of it, and they go hard early. The only other time where it's a decent time to go after him would be in a 1-0 count. Because at that point, he's itching to throw a strike. And when you're itching to throw a strike, you got to scratch that itch. So he's got a habit of doing that, and that's how guys get on base. He's got 3 doubles alone by doing that this year, 8 hits allowed, 3 runs scored from that. In 28 at-bats, by the way, 28 at-bats in a 1-0 count. In terms of the batting order, the guys he's faced in the order, the weakest spot is the guy who bats 8. Whoever bats 8 in the order is who does the best. Batting 8 is a 2.61 this year. 15 strikeouts on the guy. He strikes out the guy who bats 5 the most. In terms of situations, with nobody on, his average is the highest at a 2.19, which is crazy because that's really not a high average. But his best spot is when he's got a runner in scoring position. Not with 2 outs, but just in general scoring position. In general scoring position, it's a 1.61. That's where he's the strongest. And that's always what you want as a pitcher. You want a pitcher who's not afraid in scoring position to deal and lock guys down, and that's what he does. He's the best at that. So, if you're going to strike early, if you're the Diamondbacks, you got to do it on the first few pitches. The first pitch or 2, you got to go after him. Do not wait on his pitches. Swing. You got to know what he's coming with on the first pitch or 2 to know what to expect. If he throws a ball, expect a strike on the next pitch. That's what you have to do if you're the D-backs. Watch where he is in terms of how he handles the counts. That's the most important thing in the world. And if it seems like I'm yelling at you, I apologize. I'm just trying to really get this out and drill it into everybody here. Now, the other question is, who are the Diamondbacks going to throw out here? That has been the other question. You're looking at the starters. Okay, Gallen has already pitched, so he's not going to be usable. He already pitched against the Brewers. So he's a lost cause. So if he's a lost cause, what about Merrill Kelly? Can Merrill Kelly pitch as a starter? Yeah, Merrill can pitch. But do you want to use Merrill Kelly now? That's the question. Kelly, why I keep saying Merrill is because he's 12-8 this year, 3.29 ERA, 187 Ks, and a 1.19 WHIP. He has been very good this year. He's been in the top 10, not top 10, top 20 pitchers in the league this year. He's been very good in terms of starters. Low end of that, closer to 20, but he has been very good. And there's been no denying that. He has, against the Dodgers this year, he's been okay. He's been okay. My problem is just he's another one of those guys where they're not going to homer off of him. They're going to put the ball in play, and then he's all up to the fielding and the situations that affect him. That's why the splits are important, people. When you're reviewing a pitching matchup, always check the splits to see how they do against the team and check to see how they do in different situations. If it's a 1-0 count, this is what to expect. If it's in a 3-1 count, this is what to expect. All of those things. Now, let's start off with some of the most important things. They're on the road. Being on the road, he has not been good. He has not pitched. It doesn't look like he's pitched a night game because they don't have stats for his night games. That's a little weird. But away games this year, 4.07 ERA compared to his home average, which is a 2.59. 15 games started and 84 innings pitched. He's allowed 38 runs, 83 hits, 11 homers, 33 walks, 81 strikeouts, and allowed an average of a 2.61. So on the road, he's not a pitcher you want to have. So if that's the case alone, I wouldn't throw him out here for the first couple games. You're going to have to probably roll with somebody else. I know Pad is the one who probably went out there in Game 1 against the Brewers, and that's fine. The problem is you used Gallen in Game 2, and that really screwed you. You secured the win, great, but now you don't have your ace. And you can't use Kelly because Kelly isn't great on the road. It's better to use him at home. And on top of that, against the Dodgers this year, he's got allowed a 3.98 ERA, which is honestly not terrible. But comparing that to teams he's faced like Boston and Chicago and Colorado and Houston, who he's pitched well against, by the way, it's like it's night and day. His hardest teams he's pitched against, the Dodgers are one of them. For some reason, Detroit was tough. Miami was tough. The Mets were tough. The Yankees were easier somehow. Phillies were harder. And the Giants were harder. And Seattle was harder. That was it. So that means in terms of the teams he's faced, the Dodgers are a harder team. He's 0-2. He hasn't won a game against them and he's pitched it. 4 starts. Hasn't gotten the win. They might have won the game probably, but he didn't get credited for it. So in 20 innings pitched, you're talking about a guy who's allowed 27 hits in 20 innings pitched, 9 runs, 13 walks, and 11 strikeouts. And the opposing batting average, which scares the daylights out of me, is a 3.42. A 3.42. Compared to the rest of the list here, that is the best batting average for any team that has faced him this year. Merrill Kelly against the Dodgers in LA would be a bad idea. I think that's what we just learned here. Merrill Kelly pitching would be a bad idea. So let's look at some other guys who could possibly start. Let's look at Nelson. Nelson's got a 5.3 ERA, 96 Ks. He's not having a good year. But how has he done against the Dodgers? Let's check his splits. Is he a guy who's better on the road? Yes. He's a better pitcher on the road. A 3.46 ERA, 6-3 win-loss record here. 15 games started on the road. He's allowed 34 runs and 75 hits in 88 innings pitched. 12 homers, 23 walks, 65 Ks. The opposing batting average is a 2.32. Not bad at all, in my opinion. He hasn't faced the Dodgers this year, though, which is a little scary. But that's what his splits look like. Nelson could be a guy you could throw on the mound. I would consider Nelson, but the issue is he pitched against the Brewers. He faced one guy, technically. He allowed 3 hits and struck out 1, but he pitched a little bit at an inning. You could start him. It could work. To me, it could work. What else are you going to do? Go with you can't, Castro's a reliever. You can't use him. Fat can't pitch. There's no chance. It's too short of rest. Let's see if there's anybody else that could really go in there and start and do something here. Because I'm looking through the pitchers that could start in a game, and I'm struggling here. I'm getting nothing but relievers at the moment. Not Bryce Jarvis. That's another reliever. Not Joe Mantiply. Jose Ruiz is a relief pitcher too. Sal Frank is also a relief pitcher. So they got 4 starters here. They are very limited in what they could do as a unit for pitching. So you're literally confined to Gallen, Kelly, Nelson, and Fed. And if I was being the manager here, based off the way the season went, Nelson's getting to start game 1. If you start Nelson game 1, that would probably be the best idea based off the situation and the splits. He's a better pitcher on the road than Kelly. Kelly struggles on the road. He had his worst pitching outings against the Dodgers this year. You don't need that to continue. The best thing you do is you save Kelly when you go back to Arizona. Save Kelly for Arizona. So the plan to me would be Nelson pitches game 1. You have Gallen pitch game 2. You have Fad pitch game 3. You have Kelly pitch game 4. Depending on the situation, though, you might have to flip Kelly and Fad a little bit. But Kelly needs to pitch in Arizona. It's the only way you're going to get things better. Let him pitch in Arizona. Don't let him pitch in LA. Because that is just, you're asking the kid to fail. Let him pitch in Arizona. That's what you have to do. Now, in terms of hitting, so we can wrap this up and go right to the next thing, so we can go into the next topic. I want to make this quick here. Let's talk about the bats. The Diamondbacks' bat issue is they strike out a lot. And I mean a lot. They have the second most strikeouts of any baseball team this year. The only team that had more strikeouts was the Reds. That's a big concern. You don't need that. Now let's compare that to the Dodgers, who are 19th in strikeouts. Way better. Way better. How about hits? Who's had the most hits this year? Where do you put the Dodgers? Number 8. Where do you put the Diamondbacks? The Diamondbacks is a hitting unit on number 17. How about doubles? Extra base hits, basically. The Dodgers are number 5. The D-backs are number 15. In terms of triples even, how about triples? The Diamondbacks have the most triples in Major League Baseball at 44 this year. Those Dodgers are only 20th in that aspect. And in terms of homers, Dodgers are a home run team, man. 249, second in the league. And you compare it to the D-backs, who are 22nd. They're not a home run team. RBIs, though, let's see this too. 15th for the D-backs, Dodgers are second. Total bases are important too. Dodgers are 3rd, and the D-backs, they're 19th. And who gets walked the most? Let's check that again. The Dodgers are the second most walked team in baseball. Diamondbacks again, 15th. We already talked about the strikeouts. Let's check the stolen bases. Diamondbacks are a speedy squad. They have the second most stolen bases in the league this year. And I definitely got the strikeout number wrong. Let me correct myself here. The D-backs have the 4th lowest amount of strikeouts this year. That's very impressive. The Dodgers are 20th. So they also don't strike out as much as other teams do. But they're on the lower end. They're actually above average. That's good. But the D-backs are a much better squad, which means they have much better quality at-bats. They extend them longer. It's very hard striking out. They're going to put them in play. You got to be prepared for that. You have to be a good fielding unit. But I don't think that should be a problem, because in terms of fielding percentage as a unit this year, the Dodgers are number 10. But here's the bad news for the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks are number 1 in field percentage. They are the best fielding unit in baseball this year. In terms of the amount of errors committed by a team, the Diamondbacks had the least amount of errors committed at 56 in 162 games. The Dodgers were 21st with 76. They did not do too great with errors compared to the Diamondbacks, but it was still better than the league average. In terms of the putouts, too, the putouts are important. Dodgers had the 5th most putouts. The Diamondbacks ranked at 17, tied with the Cubs. And in terms of, let's just say, total chances, right? Total chances, the Diamondbacks are 21st. And the Dodgers were tied for 11th with the Red Sox. So the fielding is heavily in advantage of the Diamondbacks. If you try to put it in play, the D-backs are going to make you pay. But if you put them out. You got to hit them yard. You got to hit them hard. You got to go for the extra bases. That's what the Dodgers need to focus on. Get the extra bases. Get them in play. Put them in the gaps. Put them in the corners. Do what you got to do. Just make sure you don't go risky. Do not get risky with them. Don't try to go for extra bases if it's a close throw because they'll get you out. They're one of the best put-out teams out there in baseball. They're one of the best in terms of force plays in baseball. Or should I correct that? Fielding percentage in baseball. They are the best at fielding. You need to be prepared for that. They commit the least errors in baseball too. Can't have that happen. Prepared. This is a warning, Dodgers. You got to be smart with the way you hit. Because these guys, they're not your average team. They're not your average wildcard team. They'll get you out quick with that fielding. But so you got to pitch a gem against them, and you got to make sure you hit well against them. Focus on putting them where they can't get it. That's it. Don't get risky for the extra bases. Don't get greedy. Do the job to the bare minimum. That's it. That's all you got to do. And you'll be fine. Now, that'll do it for that. But if you're talking about how I feel about the series, I still think the Dodgers win this series. This is a 4-game series. It could go to 5 if they really overperform. But I don't think the Diamondbacks are winning this. Give me the Dodgers again. So you're going to have Dodgers, Braves, and you're going to have the Orioles and the Astros. I really don't think Texas wins that series. I hate to say it. I still don't believe in Texas. If they beat the Orioles, fine. They're going to the World Series. How's that? That's the problem. I can't make up my mind with that. But that's it for baseball topics. Let's talk about something else here. Let's move to football now and do a little bit of a highlight reaction. I want to go into a little bit with what happened on Thursday Night Football. It wasn't, from what I heard, it wasn't very pretty. So, let's talk about it. Let's see why it wasn't pretty. So I'm pulling up the highlight scene here with just me here. I'm going to try to get rid of this here. Oh, I got to get rid of this. Give me 1 second, folks. Got to get rid of my guest filter here. I still have the guest window open from our last stream when we had Justin on. Thank you again, Justin, for coming on. We really appreciate that. You were great on the show, man. Okay. We got the window open. We're going to crop it down a little bit right here, just so we got a good feel for everything. Just like that. We're going to put ourselves like a little square, and we're going to talk about this. So this is how it's going to look. This is where my window's going to be. Hi, everybody. And let me go make sure we got what we're looking for on the display capture. I'll make sure we got the right thing. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do, people. I am so sorry about that. Oh, my goodness. I did not want that. It's disabled. My bad. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. YouTube window has to be in the front. I don't know why it didn't do that. It should be visible. So this is where I had all the stats and the splits. This is the important thing I was talking about earlier. When you go through the splits, ESPN has them all listed here. This is where you guys can find all the information you need. Everything is here. Don't ever worry about not having everything you need in terms of stats. They're all here to be found. All of it. This is where they were. Don't be afraid. They're all there. Okay? If you ever need to check them out, that's where they are. Now, let's talk a little bit before I go and get the highlights. Let's talk about what happened last night. To what I know, the Commanders crushed them. I mean, the Commanders got crushed by the Bears. That's it. I know the Bears won. I don't know how bad they played, but because I didn't watch the game, I was sick as a dog, but I know how it went. So we're going to sit here, we're going to dissect this piece by piece to figure out what in the hell happened to the Washington Commanders. In terms of the Charles Barkley quote, what happened to the game that I love? Here is our thing, people. This is it. Let me fix this, shall we? I'm going to drop the windows down so you guys get the full view. Let me go full screen, shall we? Going to try and adjust this to make it look good. It's a very big screen for no reason. I apologize in advance. It shouldn't be this way. I'm still trying to tweak the little things here to make it better. Takes a little time, as y'all can probably see. All right. This is what we have. This is what we're watching. All right? So, once again, Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders. I'm just curious how bad it's got to be that you got killed by the Bears, who look like a shell of themselves, by the way. I want to specify that. Let's watch the highlights, shall we? And let's see what happened with the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. Again, how bad you got to be.
Mooney in motion. That's a great front four for Washington, but the...
Oh, I love this camera shot. Oh, that's easy. They made Sam Howell somehow made Justin Fields look like the smartest man in the world. I got nothing else to say. Wow. Wow. So, yeah, I think it's easy to say that with the Commanders getting crushed, it's simply because the offensive line gave him no time. They gave him nothing to work with. But I also think his pocket presence needs a lot of work. He's got a lot of work to do to get that better, because he looked terrible. He couldn't escape. He couldn't escape tonight. He was running into guys. He was not making the proper reads. And this is a big thing you got to tell quarterbacks. Quarterbacks need to be able to read these things. You got to be able to make the reads. If you don't make the reads, you're going to suffer. You got to be able to read everything around you. It's your job to be aware of every situation. It's like being a manager. Being a manager of a team at work. You have to know everything that goes on. You have to know everything. So that means you got to know everything from what the guy at the concierge desk is getting for lunch. You got to know where the cleaning ladies are storing the equipment. You got to know where your people are going who are on sales, if they're going out for lunch, when they're going to be back. They got to know all these little details because they need to plan ahead for it and be ready to be in a problem-solving mode in an instant, any moment. So that's the thing for managers. They need to be ready to go and fire and make solutions happen and resolve situations as they happen. It's their job to do that and make sure everything runs well. Same thing with the quarterback. You got to make sure that you know what's going on with your offensive line. If they're struggling and you see that this one specific guy is having a hard time, you have to keep an eye on what guy is rushing towards that O-lineman. It's another task to worry about because you can't rely on the guy, sure, but it helps your team in the long run and it helps you extend drives that way because you know what to expect and where to roll. So if you notice your left guard is struggling and the guy is getting a big advantage throughout the game, coming in to his right shoulder and blocking the gap towards his right shoulder, then you know that you can cut down to the left because you know your left tackle is having struggles keeping the guy off the outside to his left shoulder. Because if your tackle can't get the left shoulder, it means he's going to come from the outside. But the guard is having trouble keeping him out from going inside down the main gap, which means you can attack the gap in between that, between the left guard and the left tackle. Having that knowledge, you can go through, boom, no problem. You know what to expect. Now you got openings to extend drives. As a manager, you got to know these things. And that's what QBs are. They're managers. They're game managers. They're the ones who make the offense work. Offense can't work without them. They control everything. They oversee everything. They make sure everybody's on the same page. If you notice a struggle, you got to improvise. And that's what they try to do. Howell looks like he's not a great improviser. I'll say Fields looked like a great improviser tonight. This is the best he's looked so far since he's come into the league. I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic for Fields. So hopefully this becomes a big trend now for Chicago because they really deserve to be better now after everything they've been dealing with. So let's see how that lasts now for Chicago moving forward. Let's move on now to another Chicago situation in the NBA. Lonzo Ball says he'll be back in the NBA. I believe that that's going to happen. It's risky for him because he does have a knee issue. We know the situation with the knee. It's pretty bad. He's been out now. This will probably be his second full season missed because of this knee injury. So this is going to be a rough year unless they decide to trade him or something. He wants to play again. His intention is to play again, and he says he will play again. But I don't know we don't know how long that's going to take. And we all see what happens when you're out of a league for so long. things change, the game changes, the talent changes, the approaches change. How do you prepare for it? And for Ball, he came out of the league as one of the best three-point shooters before his injury. He comes back in. Is he still that same guy? Does he still got that bounce off that leg? Can he still push off of it, get momentum off of it, still get that extra oomph to, get down inside and make cuts, make step backs, hezzies, whatever he's got to do to kind of really make openings and take shots, make clean shots, and, help complete offensive possessions. That's the question with Lonzo. I think he can. I don't think he'll be the same player. He'll end up being a role player the rest of his career, unfortunately. But that's just how I feel about it. And again, I know this is very short, but I think I would be really happy if he's able to come back. If he's able to come back, great, amazing comeback story. If he doesn't, it's the best for him. It's for medical sake. I'd rather somebody say that they can't play anymore. They'd rather medically retire because they want to be able to enjoy their life with their kids and their family rather than being worried about walking the same. Again, having to grab a walker to walk or a cast or a cane, and it's not worth it. So I hope he's able to come back. I know this is a short topic, but it still has to be mentioned. Lonzo wants to be back in the NBA. He says he'll be back. I think he'll come back. I hope he comes back. But if he doesn't come back, again, thank you for everything he did for the league and everything he did in college, and really being one of the big names that I got to watch actually in high school off of your tapes that were going out from Chino Hills. It was really something, man. And always grateful for that. Let's go back to the NFL again, now that we've covered that really quickly. The NFL defended its obsession with Taylor Swift. You heard that right. They defended it. How do you explain that? I'll try to explain it the best I can. They're obsessed. I mean, you guys saw. It feels like they're fixing games. And I know it's not. I know it's really rough to say it. I don't say scripting ever. But it is very weird how that Jets game ended. Fans are going to get suspicious. They already are suspicious. Good job, Roger. And it's funny that the next day, after that loss happens, they start mentioning on their accounts about being Swifties. Why? Why? What's the point? What is the gauge for this? They had to put out a whole statement because of how bad the accusations got. I'm sure that I have the statement somewhere. Let me see if I can find this thing. I'm sure I've got it. I'll double check real quick. I think I got it. Let's go to Twitter. I think I have it saved in my bookmarks on Twitter for the statement. It was actually embarrassing. I mean that very seriously. I do not have it. Okay. Well, the statement was essentially, we respect Taylor. It was simply for marketing, but we found out that networks were broadcasting her ads for her film for free. They weren't paying anything, which is ridiculous because to have a primetime window like that for games that everybody's watching, millions of people at home, and they'd have to pay a single thing to get that ad aired, that's highway robbery. That's millions of dollars out of the pocket. You have to pay millions to do that. And to not have to pay it, to me, that feels illegal. But again, I really am on the same page as the fans here. I really don't care about the Taylor Swift stuff. Are they trying to get her for the halftime show? Is that what they want? That's my question. Are you trying to get her on the halftime show? Because she already said on a bunch of occasions she's not going to do it. Usher is doing it. How about you focus on making sure that Usher has a good crew around him for the halftime show, rather than still try to fight to make sure that Taylor Swift does it, even though you've already booked a guy. So, don't even get me started. And I'm going to reiterate the same point I said on Wednesday when Justin was on the show, my guest. I don't care about this relationship with Taylor and Travis. I don't. I mean this. I'm on the same page as the fans. I don't care. It's getting annoying. It's getting repetitive. Am I happy for them that they're having a happy life and they're enjoying themselves? Yes. Absolutely. I feel everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves to be happy and have a relationship and be with somebody they really love and care about. Everybody deserves to be happy. However, that doesn't give teams and companies the right to be annoying and shove it down your throats. Like when my feed is constantly showing Taylor Swift at a game reacting to little things, I'm sitting here like, why is this on ESPN? Why is this on House of Highlights? Why is this on the NFL page? Why do I care? I don't care. Every fan feels the same way. We don't care. We're here to watch football. Is it going to help Travis score another touchdown? Great. That's great. Chiefs fans will be happy. We don't care. I mean, you couldn't name a single... I guarantee you this, okay? If you asked any fan about any one of the players and their wives, do you really think they're going to know or care about the wives? And again, this is no disrespect to them as people or disrespect to the relationships itself. It's us being honest as fans themselves. How do fans think as football fans? And this is how they think, plain and simple. They think about the player, what they do on the field, and if they're hurt or if they're good. That's it. There's no care for anything else. If it's community service work, great. If it's volunteer work, great. They're going to care. They're going to watch that. They're not going to care about who their wife is. They're not going to care about who they're dating. They're just going to care about, are they going to start this week? Are they going to play this week? Community service, great. Okay, is he in the running for an award? Like, this is all the fans care about. We don't care about the fact that Taylor Swift might be dating Travis Kelce, because it's still not confirmed. Come on. Great. Hanging out in the suites with Donna. Who cares? They're hanging out together. Great. No photo of a kiss. Nothing. So guess what? To me, just really good friends. Sorry. So this is just, and people say this PR stunt, it feels like it. I don't know if it is. I honestly can't tell you for sure. But again, it's back to the main point. I don't care. And the NFL is defending the fact that they're pushing this down our throats. And they're basically telling you, oh no, we're not obsessed. You know, we're just really excited for her. And it's like, why do you care? We understand that she's like the biggest music artist right now in the world. But there's no need. There's no need. It's football. It's football, not music. We're going to say she's going to get the whole soundtrack of Madden next? Nobody will buy it, by the way. Nobody will buy it if the whole soundtrack is Taylor. I just want to make that very clear. But I'm trying to make a point here. And I got to get back to that. Nobody cares that Travis is dating Taylor. Or might be dating Taylor. And we don't care that she's at the games. And we don't care she's sitting in the press box staring him down and watching him. And I don't think I can go through another week of that. I may not even watch a Chiefs game this week because of how pissed off I would get. So yeah. That's how I feel. See my eyes? Yeah. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired. I was stuck in bed for since yesterday. Completely sick. I came up this morning, good to go. Felt better. Rallied like a trooper to be here today. And here I am, having to talk about the fact that NFL is defending Taylor Swift and their obsession. It's a money grab. I shouldn't even be giving this any attention. But I had to bring it up because it's just so stupid. Just admit you want her on the halftime show, and you're upset about the fact you couldn't get her, but she's dating one of your players, so now you're trying a fourth opportunity to get her to do it. When she already said, no, I don't want to do it. Stop it. Stop it. Honestly, stop it. You're going to drive us crazy at this point. Okay, so this stream's definitely going longer than we thought. It's going to go longer than 2 hours. For sure. So, we got 2 things left to do. We'll do some early college football prospects review. This will be quarterbacks, what they look like, how they're going to do this week. This is what we're going to focus. Things to look out for. Start ranking them. We're usually doing prospect review. We're going to start with quarterbacks first. The quarterbacks that stand out the most, I'm going to use the recent tapes I have of their most recent games. We're going to look through those. And then every week, on one day of the week, probably going to be on Fridays, we'll do another prospect review, and we'll talk about another player. And we'll do another position. So probably next Friday, we'll do running backs. Following weekend, we'll do wide receivers. We'll do tight ends. Then we'll do offensive linemen. Then we'll go into defensive linemen. Then we'll go into linebackers. Then we'll go into edge. Or I guess we can count those linebackers regardless. And then you could go into DBs. So like corners and safeties. And that's it. Done. If you want to go into kicking, we'll go into kicking too. I don't care. But I want to do prospect reviews because this is important. The draft will be here just as quickly as you think. Remember, we just started October. And college football season starts hitting bowl season in December. We're really close already. We're already at the midpoint of the season. In another month, after next month, we're already in bowl season. We're almost done with college football season at that point. January. We're really close already. Halfway there. So it's important we start this now and start getting looks at these quarterbacks. So, here's a few. I have a playlist of stuff so you guys can see it. Quarterbacks to review. But before we do that, also, let me bring up these couple things that happened today. Some trades. There were 2 trades today. One involving the Bears and one involving the Broncos. Here's what happened today. The Bears got rid of Chase Claypool finally, sent him to Miami. 2025 7th rounder, Chase Claypool. Miami gets that for a 2025 6th round pick. That's what they gave up. The Bears obviously lost this trade big time when they initially traded with the Steelers. But guess what? They cut their losses. They gave him Claypool what he wants. Apparently people believe in the executive office he's an entitled child. But you know, who knows? Maybe Miami fixes that. And we don't even know if that's true. But still. Executive rumors is that one of them said that he's like an entitled child. Nobody wants that on their team. Supposedly. And now the other one. The Broncos traded Randy Gregory instead of cutting him. So now they got a 2024 6th round pick from San Fran. And they gave Gregory and a 2024 7th rounder to San Francisco. So Randy Gregory goes to San Francisco, which adds up to the defense that they have out there. If there's any team that can fix him, it's going to be San Francisco. And who knows? Maybe he has a 12-sack season now because he's in San Fran. Who knows? We'll see how it goes for them. It's worth the investment and worth the expiration, personally. That's how I feel. So, yeah. Both teams, it's like a screw it. Let's see what we get out of it. We'll see if it helps us in any way. Who knows? Chase Claypool could really help the Dolphins. And maybe Randy Gregory really helps the 49ers because he's not helping the Broncos. But yes, now we're going to go ahead and get access and jump into the playlist to look over some of the highlights. Now, I did have highlights from the other series like Game 1s and stuff, but I'm going to go towards the most important. So I have a bunch of different quarterbacks here I'm going to tell you guys about right now. I'm sure there's some you guys want to look at, some you don't, so we'll just go off of whatever I feel is the best one to look at. And I'll gauge it. So, I don't think you guys need to see Caleb Williams. I'm pretty sure you guys already know about Caleb. We'll make it quick, though, if you guys want. I mean, I have a 9-minute clip. I just cut it down. I have his mid-season highlights already. And it's a 9-minute video. It's the longest one of all the videos I have here. Correction, second longest. The longest one is a KJ Jefferson thing. But, you know what? Yeah, we're going to get rid of the mid-season highlights. All right. So, this is what we have. We have Caleb Williams. I can't even talk today. We have Caleb Williams versus Colorado. So we have the film. 7 minutes. I can cut that down easy. Quinn Ewers against Kansas. That's also on film. We have Drake May against Pittsburgh. Cam Ward from Washington State against Oregon State. KJ Jefferson versus LSU. JJ McCarthy versus Rutgers. Jordan Travis versus Clemson. Bo Nix versus Colorado. Michael Penix Jr. versus Cal, and Jaden Daniels versus Mississippi State. That's what we have. All video and credits that I do use in this were edited and put together by DP Gamer on YouTube. Make sure to give him a follow. He's been big in the recruiting game right now with all these tapes he's been putting out for each game. It's been a huge help for us looking out for the scouts and being able to figure out who's going to be the next big deal at QB. It's been really helpful and beneficial, so a quick shout out to DP Gamer. Give him a follow on YouTube if you haven't already. He's got all these highlights listed. It's been very helpful. So without further ado, I'm going to pull it up now. These are the videos, by the way. These are them. So let's get it going. We'll start with a quick review on Caleb Williams.
22 yards passing, accounting for 5 touchdowns,
try and get this to the highest. Oh, this is the highest quality? Nope. Yeah, this is the highest quality. Sorry, guys.
And he'll throw it near side on first down. This ball
cuts there.
Taj at the 36. Here's Williams throwing it. Underneath, ball caught, scooped
little
up
low
to turn the 4.
Just some quick reads.
Williams looking, pumping, Fires.
He's got good pocket
Caught at
presence.
midfield,
I'll say
and
that.
that'll be a first down. Brendan Rice.
Good read in the pocket.
Brendan Rice. Beautiful play.
Right here.
And a first down
Fakes
for
the
SC
handoff.
on their opening series.
Tried to fake
They'll
the
swing
run
it out
there.
to their tight end.
It's like a triple
Blake
fake. I liked it.
And
I mean, double fake.
here's Williams underneath. Ball caught.
It's really just short run. I'm only seeing short routes so far. I'm
fake.
waiting to see a big deep ball.
Williams
And as I
steps
said
into
that,
his
there it
throw.
is.
Wide open receiver,
Can't miss
incomplete. He
that.
had going over
Can't miss
1,000
that.
yards receiving
All right,
on
pressure
66
coming.
catches. Meanwhile,
Stands in there
Williams
strong.
to the
Losing
sideline.
the
That
ball
one's
off some
for
zip on
nothing.
it.
Here's Williams.
It's going out of
dancing in the
defense isn't a
pocket.
big deal either.
Now
Not a big
moving
name to
around,
watch.
and he'll
And he
just
threw
jump
that in
into
the
what
ground.
Patrick was at Texas
Right out
Tech.
of options.
Second down and 10.
He's going to carry it himself like a
And here's
Mahomes
Williams
type of
rolling
thing.
out of the pocket. He may
That's
run
it.
this
And I'm
one.
saying
Here's
Mahomes because everybody's
Williams
comparing him to
pumping,
Mahomes.
looking, taking his time all day to throw it.
Looking,
Buys more
gets it out.
time,
Oh, that's
side
beautiful.
out throw, and it's caught.
That's not even possible.
Washington.
No
across the
QB should have a
field.
body, should be able
It's
to have that kind of body
sideline
control in those
touch.
And
throws.
here, nothing there
Like,
initially.
look, right here, he's got all the time in the world, nothing to worry about. You see this? You barely see this receiver right here.
And he doesn't
And he
panic.
throws it-
And the
he's
reason
looking to
he
make
doesn't
motions
panic
here.
is he knows
He sees that he needs more time. He's rolling, good pocket awareness, knowing where the pressure's coming
he
from.
has
Rolling back this way. He sees him coming back.
a weapon on
He
his
sees
right arm.
an opening here,
Look
and he
at
also
this throw.
sees this.
He's rolling
So he's
left,
throwing it right there to this guy
throwing
who
down
was able to
back
shake off this
right,
DB.
down the middle
And
of the
gets a
field,
nice
and he
angle,
just
strong
has
cut,
all sorts of
the
torque,
breakaway
velocity.
speed
The ball is
to
thrown
get to the end zone.
accurately.
It's
Austin
really a
Jones
lot of
in the
receiver, but
backfield.
extended by the QB.
Williams
He did a great
fires
job
it
on that.
out wide. Mario Williams off his back foot, caught, and a touchdown. Here's the
Look at
play
this.
fake.
Dropping back.
Williams off his
Good
back
fit,
foot, caught,
loved it,
and
hit
a
him in stride.
touchdown in the
That's
end.
one of the
We're
harder
out of there.
passes to hit as a
Linebackers
quarterback.
out
You're
there,
going to
and
see it
then
here
watch
again.
Singer coming over from the right side.
They'll show it real quick.
There's Juwan Mitchell.
Come
linebacker.
across
He
the
steps
field,
up. Now
complete
Williams
it,
buys
right there,
time, and
done.
then right up.
High point
Marshawn
it.
Lloyd in the backfield. Caleb Williams takes his time, goes through his progressions, delivers.
I think that's all we need to see on Caleb. So, again, great looks for Caleb so far. I got no complaints with him. He looks good. Let's see what Quinn Ewers looks like. This is better. Way better.
Come up to the line quickly. Ewers over the middle. Coach
Now,
also
Kansas
calls
came
the
into
plays,
this
and
trying to
he's
create
one
a
of the very
challenge
best
for Texas, but I
in
think
all
Texas
the
ended up getting a
football.
blowout in this game.
Ewers to midfield.
Mobility, I watch his footwork more than anything else. So his
They bring
footwork,
pressure, does Kansas.
it's a little bit like a shuffle, and the shuffling doesn't help because when you have to shift from shuffle to like shuffling and then going into actual steps, it sucks. Because like, look, see, okay, there he's not shuffling.
Ewers takes off running.
Decent run. Oh yeah, he's got. Oh yeah, he's got wheels. I like this though. Let's see what they're talking about here. He's playing spy, watching him. Receiver's gonna come up in front of him. I mean behind him. So as he comes behind, he's gonna stay watching the whole time. Pocket collapses right here. He makes the proper read, knowing that his blocker is gonna lose it here, and he's gonna cut back and go up. Cuts back. He's shifting to try to go after him. Can't do it. I'm shocked that's not a holding, but he didn't hold apparently. He just falls to the ground. So he tries to get around. The spy here fails to follow him. Now he's going to run down. He's got to abandon his job. He's got an open field down this way, and I think they underestimated his speed. And Ewers easily got out of there.
Started in the game.
So a horrible contained job and a spy effort from the middle linebacker. Little check down route. That's more of the...
It looked like it was going to do much, but Brooks.
This is more on the player than the quarterback, but I do like the way he flipped his hips on that to change direction. That was really good. Great work from Ewers on that. Let's see. Takes the handoff, pressure coming, closing in. Stands strong, completes it. Good touch. Made the guy have to come up a little bit to make that, but he had enough of a lead, right? Let's see. Yep, he had enough of a lead. Oh, no, he didn't have to come up. Hit him in stride. No jumps, no nothing. Beautifully done.
14 yards per play.
Another throw. Off the hand. Oh, rough. That's a rough throw. Completed. Okay.
Another first down. And Jordan Whittington's just so relaxed. The depth it's going to be.
I don't gotta keep saying this. There we go. See some more.
Ewers.
Good mobility here. Good. Again, he's a mobile quarterback. He really is. He's not a runner like a dual threat type, but he has legs and wheels to really make plays. Like in terms of him running, who does he remind me of in the league right now? Like they're not really a runner. That's a bad throw. We're gonna have to look at that again.
Started at their own 16.
Throws it over. He overthrew him. That could have been picked. That's a bad throw.
Great job of getting rid of the
You
ball
can't have
very,
those
very
happen.
quickly
You're
this
lucky
year,
he
but
dropped
sometimes
it.
He kind of predetermines this one. He throws a late straight passes without an
Looked like
interception
13 didn't
back
even
to
try to
last
jump
year.
for it either.
That was close.
I don't know why the handoff was important there. Missed
Second
the
and
dime
goal
on that.
from the 10
Did he have
of
another
high school
option?
football.
Nope. The intended plan was for that, and he had a double cover there that turned into a single, and he overthrew it.
Second and goal from the 10. Ewers, nowhere to go. Second
That's the
and
first
goal from
bad
the
one I've
10.
seen. Pressure coming through. His back is to him right now, and his blocker is failing him. He's watching him coming with the pressure, bringing the heat. He's switching direction. You got to come back this way. You got to keep following to the right. I mean, look, he's abandoned it now, but you got to roll right. If you roll right, he's going to follow you, sure, but you can check it down, and you know you got a guy to throw to on second and goal here at the 10. Just get closer.
Nowhere to go.
Instead, he tried to run down the middle.
Well defended
It's a little bit,
downfield
of course they do this
by the
every time I do
Jayhawks
that.
secondary. There's
So
nothing
see,
there.
like
You
that
see
was an
the
opening
throw on
right
the
there.
right-hand
I
side.
know
He's
he had
actually
like a
dropped
stutter step kind of
over the ball.
froze, but
17
he's got to be
years
able to make
of
that
Lance's 10 years
discernment.
a head coach around college
what he
football.
needs to do
Out wide,
and where to go.
Trying to make a man
Like number
miss,
4
and he
obviously has a
cannot
little bit
do
of shiftiness to him that can work in your
Ewers the
favor.
fake.
Pressure coming
Given plenty of
in his
time.
face, and he got it.
Has his man. It's Mitchell again.
Okay.
The stack right there. The way they
Good
kinda
read on
time
that
up
route design.
when the guy runs through and AD
The route design was great.
Jalen Robinson was the motion man. Here
Unblocked
comes the
blitzer
blitz. It's
coming.
out to Robinson
Just a
on
dump.
19.
Another one.
Xavier Worthy,
I'll tell you, he throws a
19,
good screen
heavily
pass.
penalized. Ewers.
Dump back in. Ooh,
Throws on the
yeah.
run,
Ooh,
back
I don't
down.
like that one. I didn't like that one.
Ewers.
His intention was, yeah, I'm going to throw to this guy no matter what. And he just flew it up.
Throws on
And
the
it's just
run,
really
back
contested.
down. Texas will get
Another
the
one
ball
coming.
up in the
Hit as he
second
throws,
half.
but it's
Ewers,
completed.
Mitchell.
I like seeing the guy stand strong. I like that, though. He stands with
They could've
confidence in
used
the
the
pocket.
timeout
You need that
unlike
with
they
the
did use all
quarterback.
three in the
That's a
last 30
holding. Hooked him around the neck. But again,
Ewers.
good read from Ewers. Once they finish the first half of highlights, then we'll switch
Pressure in
over.
his face, man.
Okay.
Whittington runs out of bounds.
I'm liking this overall, though. He dropped back,
Take the
more end
inside
around
hand
pressure,
off.
steps
Ewers
up
hits.
into it, and that's a pick. Let's see what the options were here.
Take
I don't know
the
where he was
inside
trying to go, but let's see.
handoff. Ewers.
He was trying to throw to this guy cut up right behind him, but I don't know how you didn't see this guy standing right in front that was just going to intercept that. I'm sorry. Nope, I'm not okay with that throw. Now, honestly, if you're being smart because you're trying not to lose a lot of clock, you could just, go left and save yourself some time.
Inside.
But he
handoff.
stepped up
Ewers
into the
hits.
pressure and threw an interception because he thought he had something in the middle.
Another.
I don't
His
like that read
eyes are
from
on
Ewers.
Quinn
You're going to
Ewers
see it
the whole
again.
way, and Quinn Ewers staring down his receiver.
Yep. He's right. Let's see. Yep. He's staring him down. It looks like it went into this gap. He could have went here. He could have went there. Here's the thing. He's playing a cover here. He's not going to jump in front of the guy running this route. He's going to worry about this guy that came up behind him. And he's playing spy on the running back here in case he checks it down. But number 5, who I'm watching,
Cal Wheeler.
is completely open. I want you guys to see that. Number 5 is completely open. Because he's staring him down, he is completely open. Mitchell. That would have been the throw, is to Mitchell. Flip it quick. You cut back. You step back this way and throw it. And that's your opening for a touchdown. It's that read. I'm not liking the processing from Ewers on
Just
this one.
reels right.
And that was an easy pick. I'm going to leave that as where it is. So again, started out good, really positive for the most part around in terms of pocket presence. And then the second quarter, I saw a little bit of a dip in that. That was a very bad decision there. I want to see better from his how he progresses through his reads. Some of his reads aren't great, and he has issues, it looks like, I guess, staring down receivers. He has a habit of doing that, and that allows picks to happen. Because once you stare a guy down, DBs notice it because they're watching your eyes and your behavior, so they're going to follow that. So Quinn Ewers was doing that, and that allowed the interception to happen in a crucial drive that they needed to get up to a bigger lead at the end of the first half. You can't do that in the NFL because you'll get picked nine times out of 10. But he had Mitchell open. So if he flips back and flips his eyes over, boom, he's got a touchdown. But he didn't do that. That's what he needed to do. It's one thing to look off a guy. if you stare down a receiver to bait and then you switch quick and you don't do it for too long where you allow yourself to get hit, you could easily get a touchdown like that. I'm perfectly okay with that. It's fine. But you're not supposed to stare a guy down and then throw to that same guy. It's not possible. Once you stare a guy down, the DBs know it, and they're going right for him. So your best thing to do is flip and go. Go to a different receiver. Go to your secondary, tertiary, whatever it is. Flip it. Flip it to a different guy. Get it out quick. Immediately. Doesn't matter where the guy is, how he's covered. You got to flip and get it. Done. Can't stare a guy down. Once you stare him down, the route is lost. That's the problem. So Ewers, he's got some stuff to work on for sure. I don't know if he's a high pick, honestly. But Caleb, you guys have seen, he's definitely got the potential of a first-round pick. I mean, I see it already. This is the next guy that's gotten a lot of attention, Drake May. That was not a good way to start this one off. So he's dropping back. The blitz is coming. This guy got absolutely wrecked. You might have to do a breakdown on this guy. What a hit that was. And he spun around, and this guy came right off it. He felt it, and it made him move. I love that. Pressure that this guy on him. So they came in with like a delayed 6-man blitz here, and they came in from each gap to close it. So he really had nowhere to go. Stepping up was probably the best opportunity he had. And you couldn't collapse coming this way because he was losing the battle. He was losing the battle there. Probably the best thing to do was probably drop back more, if you could. Like, you watch the drop more than anything else. Let's see how far the drop back is. 1, 2, 3. A 5-step drop probably would have helped. 3-step drop back I'm not okay with. 3-step drop, no. You got to go with 5. 5 or 7 would have worked better. Goes across. I'm not liking the decision making. This might be his worst game so far. I've seen a little bit of him already, but this might be bad. Here we go, looking. Pressure already coming again. They only rushed 4. The 5th guy is just playing spy on him and just making sure that he has no check down option. And that was poorly thrown. More pressure coming. Yeah, he's getting blitzed beyond hell. His O-line is failing him. So he has to run. I don't blame him. You have to run. There you go, little check down. Good. A little screen route. Okay, it's not a check down, but it's a screen route. I'm okay with that. Threw across his body, though. I'm not a fan of throwing across his body unless you have immense body control and you've trained in that aspect. Like that was, this is all the player. So they're already telling me that for May, he's got to have the talent around him. It's got to be a system that's got talent. But look at all this time he's taken. This is what. Why does this remind me of Pickett? Well, not Pickett. Zach Wilson. There we go. This reminds me of Zach Wilson. A double flicker. And that, I hate that he had to make the receiver stop. I hate it. You have him open and he has to slow down and make the catch. Yo, you hit him in stride, he's gone for a touchdown. NFL QBs are hitting that in stride, he's going in. Is down and a flag has been thrown. He took a shot, though. I'll give him his credit, and he still ran it in too. He needed to throw it. This one's a short. These are short. These are short. This one's only 4 minutes, so we'll probably cut off a little bit after the third. Okay, good moves. Again, this is all just short plays and the talent's making the weapon. Now let's see this one. That's a beautiful throw. That was sidearm. I like that. Oh, I like that. Running again. Mobility for May, a big positive here. Smart to slide. Another carry, but... ¿Qué pasó? He's a... Wait. He's a righty. He's a righty. Yeah, the tape got a little screwed up here, but let's see. He faked it. This guy's coming for him. He's got him wrapped. And he does the most dangerous thing in the world and throws it with his left. Is Drake May ambidextrous by any chance?
It's a zone read, basically.
Nope, he's not ambidextrous. But that was really clever. Not a lefty. I like the improvisation, but super risky. Here's a deep ball. I wanted to see this. In stride. Love it. Beautiful. Beautifully done. So cross completed. Okay, he looks way better, and he looked way better since about midway the second quarter.
Here's a quick throw in the center.
Very rough first. Okay, I'm okay with that throw. I'm telling you, I'm getting Zach Wilson vibes. I don't like that that's my comp, but that first half was pretty bad. That beginning of that first half was rough. Really bad. Okay. Playing safe ball here. I'm okay with this. He's getting it out quicker. He's found a rhythm. Can't overthrow that.
Maybe Todd Monken was right, guys.
3rd down and 8.
Made the guy come back. Ooh.
Pressure coming. May moves to his
finding something. Beautiful. Beautiful comeback route. Save some time. Oh, no.
To get that out.
Another one. He doesn't. Oh, if he doesn't trip, he's got an opening seam, and he doesn't lose any steam.
Well, brother Drake, maybe a #1 overall pick next year.
Okay, there's a hit. Probably last play here at the 3rd. Smart play again. It's all about like ball control. They're trying to play clever, controlled football. I'm okay with this. And he gets hit. That's all protection. Sorry. I can't blame a quarterback for the O-line that's failing him. And I'll just watch this last one and we'll call it. Alright, and he's being held for pass interference. Alright. So off of this one alone for Drake May, this obviously definitely was not his best game. I think he definitely had a bad start. You could see he was missing some bad throws. Getting sacked, not making a change in the pocket. Like, you know, he felt the pressure coming. They blitzed early and hard. He wasn't prepared for it. It threw him off his game. He was missing his targets. Can't have that happen. It came to a point where he had to start doing checkdowns and short routes and screens because that's all you had. And then it got easier once things started opening up towards the end of the second. And that's where they kind of figured it out. Got into a rhythm, and he got comfortable. Which he looks better now that he did that. But in the beginning, he looked like Zach Wilson. A scared puppy running for his life. But in this case, he doesn't look that way now. Looked much better. I would say more confident this time around. If I had to give a comp after the way he just threw that ball and was moving, he ain't a Russell Wilson, that's for sure. I mean, if you want to talk about Russell Wilson now, sure. But, I mean, you're talking, yeah. I think that's my comp. I'd say Russell Wilson right now is where he's at. Like, Broncos Russell Wilson. I know it sounds insulting, but again, anybody who's in the NFL and is a starting quarterback, it's not an insult. It's actually a compliment if you're an NFL starting quarterback who has won a Super Bowl. So Drake May. Bad start, good finish. Cam Ward. This is another guy I've heard been climbing up boards here for his mobility, that he's been a good runner. I heard his running is his blind spot. Let's see. Good time to throw. Oh my goodness. This is like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it. If I'm only seeing those two plays, I'm immediately thinking Anthony Richardson. And I'm talking like Anthony Richardson's potential. Pressure coming, quick throw out. Caught. Again, the weapons are insane. His receivers, you need athletic receivers for this guy. That's what you need. But Drake May is also, by the way, all that talent. That's what you need for him. He needs the talent, the proper weapons and talent around for him to be successful in this league. If he doesn't have that, it's not going to work out. I already can see it. But Ward is like a one-man wrecking crew. He's got Lamar vibe because the way he's mobile. His arm isn't bad either. Look at that beautiful stop route.
Inside the 10-yard for 5 to start. But Watson in motion. Ward
takes it himself. Little option. Ooh, taken down. It's all right.
Second and goal.
I'm liking he's not afraid to run though. Ooh, no. Let me see the matchup here. Ooh, try to go back. Try to go to the back. He's too far in front. And he gets the push in thanks to the little push. It's a touchdown. Let's see it now again. I'm a little concerned about the red zone stuff. We'll see how that looks. That can always be corrected. Took the time, made his reads. Went with the running back, I guess. Yeah, 2 is double covered.
Great leader.
Okay.
The Cougars offense.
Shotgun.
Ward.
Still 4-man rush. No real pressure on that one either.
It's complete.
But he's completing some good passes. Let's see it again.
Great rhythm
Pressure
throw,
coming
great
through from the
protection,
left side, and they started breaking through in the middle,
It's 3rd and 8.
which is big.
Getting ready for this one.
Here comes again. This time they're rushing 4. Initially rushing 5. And again, great routes. Great play design. You're going to need a craft. This guy would be amazing with a crafty, creative offensive coordinator. He would be really good for a team like that. I like Ward, actually. This guy was not on anybody's boards as a big name, and he has played above expectations at Washington State. Wow. Wow.
Slips out of the tackle.
Look, the weapons are great, but I'm focusing on one of the things here. Watch this throw. I should say watch the pocket presence on this. Ready? They got a stacked guy here. They got him stacked. Pressure's coming through now. He's getting it right here. They're starting to come in the middle. He knows he has to get this out. He knows where he's got to go. They're watching his eyes, but his eyes are already locked, and he lets it go quick. He's got good zip on that ball. Puts it right there low. Forces the receiver to stop because he knew that the day-back was going to keep running. So when he threw it a little shorter and took a little zip off of it, it allowed the receiver to have the time to come back and make the grab. And it throws the defensive back off because him having to stop and cut back is going to force a stumble, slow him down. The receiver immediately has the advantage. That was smart football play and throw by Cam Ward. That's professional. That's NFL level knowledge. I love it. And a spin out by the receiver. That's just freakish athleticism from the receiver, too.
17. So here comes Washington State again.
Next throw.
Pass to the outside.
Little quick pass.
Sure,
Fine with that. It's a management style. Was designed that way. Another one, little out route. Another spin away. Who is this receiver? This guy might be a loose person, too. Kelly?
Ward. He's got his man again.
My goodness, it's like he drops right in the bucket. Cam Ward, oh my gosh.
Repeat performance of last week.
Who you feeling like, man?
For the touchdown.
Wow.
Double play pass. Ward scrambling, finds
Good throw.
Jenkins in the flat.
They're trying to throw a forward pass to Cooper Mathers, so they
fakes it out, double fake, double pump. His mobility is what helps him so much. A mobile quarterback who has the ability to read his pocket and know what his O-line can do. His O-line's been great, too. That cannot be understated. His O-line's been giving him plenty of time.
But a great job, awareness.
And he hasn't been trying to play the big hero ball. He's thrown a couple if he had it open, but he's trying his best not to. Fumble. Uh-oh. Let me see this again. It happened back there. Right back there. And the ball bounces up this way and it's picked up. Okay. That's a protection thing. It's a recognition thing there. You got to recognize when it's breaking down. Make sure you got that ball protected if you're going to run out like that.
Flag flies. Free play. Ward.
Replay. Okay. Got time in the pocket here to throw. Throws it. Let's see. Is it catchable? Oh, he threw it to make the guy stop. He wanted him to come back a little bit just to slow down, get behind the DB so he can make the catch, and that wasn't the case. That was not a great throw, honestly. I'm not a fan of that one, but it's again, the fact it's even this close is kind of incredible, I have to say. I think the receiver falling is really what did more of it. Look at this protection and all this time he's got, and he still has the IQ to know when to move, adjust, and he completes a good pass to extend the drive. His mobility reminds me of Lamar. He's got Lamar's level of mobility. I really like this kid. I really like him a lot. I can't state it enough. He looks great. Mobility of Lamar, and if we're going off the arm alone, because, I mean, this kid's got a cannon. This kid's got a cannon with some zip. I like it a lot. I can't say it enough. I like the rate he gets on that ball and the velocity he probably gets on it. So we're talking probably in the... What range would you put that? I mean, he's got like Justin Herbert deep ball ability. I think that's where I'm at. He's got that kind of zip, deep ball, touch, all of that. The kid's got it. But his running and mobility style, that is all Lamar in terms of extending drives. I like this kid. If that's my comp, this kid should be a top round pick. Watch. When he comes into the combine and he does his work, this kid is good. Real good. Keep an eye out for Cam Ward. This dude's a big deal. KJ Jefferson, LSU. This is another guy I've heard he's been falling down boards. Let's see if there's a reason. LSU, a tough team to face here. I think I heard that Arkansas lost this one, but I'm not too sure. Let's see. Already. They're just out routes. That guy's out. Just short passes. QB keeper. Don't like that. What was that decision on 3rd and 5? Really? Like, look, his vision here was fairly smart, but his O-lineman got beat and he just ran into a trap. Honestly, there wasn't a way to beat this. He just put his head down and said, "Let me go." Here we go. Takes a snap. Again, little tiny fade out screen to the left, and they read that, took the hit. Pressure coming, collapsing on him, avoids it. Ooh, he's a little shifty. He's a decent runner, definitely. Let's watch the vision here and how we recognize that. Because here's the collapse. He sees it, gets out of the DB here, comes back, gets right by him, sneaks away. He's got some breakaway speed, but not enough to really escape the guys in the downfield. And here we go. There you go. Takedown there. Let me see if that takedown one more time. 5-man rush. They delayed it, and he decided I'm going to carry it, and he ran into the pile. Because why? He wanted to spin out of it, but there was a wrap. That's why you don't do that, because if they wrap your leg, it's already over.
Pressure again. Picked up. Jefferson has time.
Decision making in the pocket's going to be the question. It looks like they're trying to limit his arm a bit, try not to make him throw too much and too far. That feels like what they did to Tua when he first came into Miami. If you're talking about current comp right now in terms of like not making the guy do too much.
It's a run all the way. Around the right edge.
I mean, look, guy's a good runner. He's like a Sam Howell type of runner I'm seeing.
Takes a hit and muscles to quarterback.
But like in terms of like the actual like speed and mobility and everything, he's got like that feel to him. Well, no, could he be a Cam? I don't think he could be a Cam. He's not a Cam Newton. And there's the arm. Okay, that looks like a miscommunication of some sort. So that's going to be a question of things. Oh, there's your first showcase of the arm, and it's picked. Yeah, he got really good pressure on that, but he stepped up, and that was a bad throw. I don't like his arm. I really don't. I have an issue with this throwing form, and I don't know if it's his grip or his arm angle or the angle with this throw, but I don't like this from KJ Jefferson. That's a hold. Grab him by the shoulder pad and just like this. Yeah, can't do that. Another one firing it, and then this time he throws it too high, but it's still caught because he has a good receiver. But man,
hit that little glance route right behind.
Good protection too on that ball from that wideout. Play action, pressure coming, get it out. Not completed, pass interference there, but let's see what he was looking for. Yeah, that was your only option, but that was a really tough throw to make. Catch to make, and you got to make a better throw. Okay, good run there. Running guys over is his thing. Okay, so that he's trying to be like Cam. I think he's a poor man's Cam.
Get him out of position. Now you're able to come back
poor
with
man's
QB
Cam.
Run, so it's keeping them honest is QB
in terms of
run,
running.
Almost a
Instead, he's rolling to the right.
Poor man's Cam, and what else can you do for a comp here in terms of the arm? I mean, the thing is, I could say Cam in his prime, that couple years of prime Cam Newton, his arm was as good as the rest of them.
Watch the vision.
So
Patience by Arkansas. Then right there, he's able to close in and make that play. Great job of anticipating. And
I'm trying to think, because we're still in the second quarter, and I'm trying to see if I can really pinpoint it. Got it. I think I know it. I think it might be
I thought he had a chance to make
I was going to say Ritter's arm, but I don't even think Ritter has that much of an issue. I think Ritter can actually throw it a little farther. Got it. Bailey Zapp. Bailey Zapp. I don't think Bailey Zapp can throw the ball great. And his arm and the way he throws the ball, it looks very awkward. For Arkansas, it looks like Jefferson has a hard grip on it. Like, watch. When you see it fly, it looks like a hard grip. Because the hard grip, it comes out tight in a spiral, right? What I don't like from him is that it seems like he's got a tight grip, which causes sometimes when you try to throw for a deeper ball, if your grip is too tight, it sinks. And when you're doing short routes, it's great to get that sinking effect. Like right there, great sinking effect. He's running like a 10, like a 15, 20-yard route. That's fine. No more than 20, though. After 20, you can't do that. You got to get it elevated, like this. This is elevated. And if it's elevated like that, I'm cool with it. Because that was actually a very good throw. I can't be mad at it. My issue I have also is I think in terms of the arm, his peak for arm I'm seeing Tannehill. He's got Tannehill's arm. Like young Tannehill in Miami arm. I'm okay with that. He's got that arm, that's a win for whatever team gets him as a backup. And he just takes a shot because his O-lineman failed him. Alright. That's all I've seen from him. Poor man's Cam Newton in terms of running. In terms of the arm, he's got the potential to be like a young Miami Tannehill arm. But right now, I'm seeing more on the level of less than that. I'm seeing like Bailey Zapp issues, which is, you know, it's like an awkward angle. I don't think I've seen a quarterback with that kind of grip before. The way he's tight on that ball. He's tight on it. And that's an issue. You got to be loose with the football. And I'm seeing it's causing the ball to sink, and it's not getting it higher. And that's what causes interceptions to happen and for missed plays. Missed opportunities. J.J. McCarthy and Rutgers. McCarthy isn't high on many boards. They're thinking mid-round picks. I'm thinking KJ Jefferson's probably a late-round pick. Mid-late round pick. J.J. McCarthy trying to find something. He's not a mobile guy. He's a pocket passer.
There's 4 down linemen and Powell the linebacker
pocket passer guy.
all the way around.
Yep, pocket passer. He's got like Jared Goff mobility there, which is like okay, he can kind of move enough to first down if there's nobody rushing. Screen good screen.
Edwards had a big game against
this Rutgers game was a tough in the first half, so I want to see what it looks like in the first half, and then see the second half. Good recognition there. The design play was smart. Put the man in motion. Immediately stared it down. The plan was always to go to the man in motion. So it's the play calling more than the execution. Double flip. Just dots it in right there to the guy who doing really well. All right. Keeps the ball in a play action, checks it down with nobody open. Didn't stare him down. Good. Footwork I'm a little curious about. I think he keeps a little bit too I think he's a little bit short with it, which I'm okay with short, but it's not. Oh no, he's sneaky quick. Okay. Oh, McCarthy just got rocked.
And now decision time here for Jim Harbaugh.
Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, he's got a shuffle.
That's Aaron.
He shuffles his feet a lot. There you go. Now he's doing the actual work of like actually taking your steps. The shuffle is crazy though. I used to be a shuffler, by the way. When I was doing quarterback stuff, I was a shuffler. I hated doing the steps. But the steps are the most necessary way because God forbid your ankle gets wrapped and you're doing the shuffle. Using tricks to do the shuffle. It's why they teach you to do with steps. Because the steps you're less likely to get tripped up. You won't stand on anybody's arm, whatever. They won't be able to get a grip on you. That's why they teach you that instead of doing a shuffle. Because shuffle, you can easily run into somebody, your own lineman's ankle will boom down. You need to be able to take those high steps. Like small steps, sure. Like look, see, small steps are okay. That was more of a shuffle. But yes, this is more what I'm talking about. What I'm seeing. KJ McCarthy, okay, good throw there on the short. Drop back, looking. Pressure coming in. That arm, that was a very weird arm angle. He's trying to throw it away. If the DB's watching the ball, it's a pick. Nice. Nice. Let me see that one more time. Perfect time in the pocket, throws it out, going towards his back shoulder, forces the guy to spin around, make the catch. Put it right here.
Michigan
Beautiful.
a pretty clean first half. 1 penalty, no
Right in the
turnovers,
basket.
and only 1 negative play. And that's incomplete off the mark of the past year.
Okay.
On 4th and
QB
short,
keeper.
McCarthy.
Like I said, he runs like golf. I can't explain it anyway. It's like Jared Goff run.
And everyone in the stadium is expecting a run up the gut. That's been their MO. But just like in the first half, J.J.
Okay, we'll stop after this throw. It's the last one.
McCarthy.
McCarthy's arm, though, I believe in his arm. His arm actually seems very solid. Actually, no, it's 4.5 minutes. We'll keep going. I do like his arm. I had a problem with it last year. I like it a lot more this year. Last year I had issues with some of his decisions. The ball didn't come out looking great. Here, he's got good poise. He's more like a pocket guy, but he can easily get mobile if he needed to. Oh, not a great throw that time. Not good placement.
Comes that short motion.
That's on him. Pressure coming, spins out of it. Not able to get out of that. Still gets wrapped. So here, if you're a mobile quarterback, this is the importance of having a mobile quarterback in these days. Because once you get in the NFL, you're going to get hit faster than this. They're going to come in faster than this. Your blockers aren't going to be able to hold him for that long. He needs to be able to either, one, he's got to recognize as well, like I keep saying for all these quarterbacks, you've got to recognize what's going on with your alignment. You have a very good offensive line that's not debated with Michigan. But this guy's coming hard off the edge here. You can actually see him. I understand if you can't see the blindside guy, that's fine. This isn't your blindside. This is your, I see you, but I think I'm just going to try to run to the side where you have all the momentum and the O-lineman is anchoring you around to me. So what I should do is I should step up and cut back while he's anchoring this way rounded. If he's rounding out this way, the answer is you come up and you go back into that spot. Here, he starts to move up, but he's off the block now. The blocking is still strong here. So here he comes. He freezes and stops himself, which allows him to get hit, and he tries to spin and gets taken down. If he commits, right, and they're going to show it again.
Can you protect J.J.?
If he commits to this, he pushes off this back foot right, let's see. He pushes off this back foot right here, right? At this exact moment. He can come up right here into this gap and cut and roll out to the right. And he has the opening and the time to get a throw out or take it himself.
J.J. McCarthy's front side.
Instead, he throws, dug back, tried to spin out of it, got wrapped and thrown to the ground. Don't like that. That's just a bad decision on his part.
McCarthy on 3rd down.
McCarthy sheds a tackle somehow, gets the first. Last throw. Okay. Little drag route. Cool. All right. So J.J. McCarthy on Rutgers, I'm okay with this one as well. In terms of arm, I can't really give you a gauge on it. It's giving, I can't, because 2 is a lefty, I can't use him in this case. I wouldn't say Mac, because Mac, I don't like his arm. I always had an issue with his arm, and I continue to have an issue. I'm not going to say Rogers. Rogers was more crafty. I think in terms of delivery, the way that ball leaves his hand, and it's got like that little zip to it, I enjoy. Because you really want a ball that comes out solid with authority to the receiver's hands. You want it. It's got to be authority to his hands every time, unless it's a deep throw. If it's a deep throw, you want it light. You want it to come in like a pillow so he can secure it tight and reel it in. So it doesn't have to be too hard on him. Because if you throw a dart pass deep like that, it's really hard to reel in for your receiver. So you have to have the ability to have a touch. So the ball down a little bit. Make sure it's soft enough of a throw that it doesn't become an issue. McCarthy, I'm starting to see a little bit of it. I think he's still more solid. He's more just a solid dart guy. If you're a dart thrower, it's not a bad thing to have. In terms of like the arm, I'm seeing a Kirk Cousins arm. I like that comp. I like Kirk Cousins' throwing style. I like his arm. Like I'm talking like prime Kirk. I'm talking like early Vikings, late Washington. His arm looked really good. I liked the zip he had on it. He threw it with authority. And he was not afraid to give you a little lob for you to go after it and make the adjustment. I hope his decision making though is better than Kirk. Because Kirk sometimes is a little shaky. But in terms of the arm strength, I like that. In terms of the running, it's like Jared Goff. So, not some bad comps to have. This guy could probably be a 3rd to 4th round pick. To me. Good name to watch. Oh, whoops, gone. Here we go.
Win against LSU, in which he was terrific. Dual threat quarterback.
Jordan Travis here against Clemson. Good rollout mobility. This is what I'm watching for because his mobility is a big question to me. I watch mobility more than anything else.
On the first drive of every half this year. Travis back.
Oh, see, now this is my issue right here. So he said he had the time, and he threw it. He threw it behind his receiver. Already a negative. For a quarterback, you cannot do that. I know you're going to have your moments, but if he was just standing there, which I hope they're doing a replay afterwards, that should have been picked. Yep, they're going to do replay. Okay, watch. He's standing here. His eye is on 6. 6 right here is coming out of his brain. He's throwing it. This ball. It ended up actually going behind him. So he threw it behind him because I think he got fooled by the DB. That's my guess. I think that's what Herbstreit was trying to say. DB was blocking it. What he could have done, since he was running that way and he still had a little bit of momentum, you float it a little bit and you get into this gap here. You get into this gap here, that's a good throw. And that's a catch, and that's an automatic first down. You're good. Instead, he threw it behind him because he was afraid of this guy. Instead of throwing in front of him and ahead of him, he threw it behind him. So now let's see how he can rebound from that throw. Tough throw. Tough throw. And a tough decision to make, too. Went for it. 4 had it. 4 just got hit hard, and that was just a good hit from Clemson. So Florida State, bad recognition from the receiver there. I don't even think he's really a speedster, you know what I'm saying? And Travis is just sitting there. Travis is a dual threat, and I have an issue with that. If he's a dual threat guy, you're sitting here like this knowing the blitz is coming? Are you kidding me? One more time. Here comes the blitz. You're seeing him coming down the middle of the gap. He's not even paying attention, by the way. He's not even paying attention. He's focused on him. He's focused on this guy. This guy's now going to have to pick up here. He completely misses the block, and he's rolling out. Is that an offensive lineman rolling out? Yo, Florida State, what is the play calling you got? Nope, that is a deep tight end. That was the mistake. You had a tight end go out. Yeah, I see the issue. He's not blocking anybody. He came off them, and he's playing like a watch situation. And instead, he gets by. He really could have had nowhere to run. He needed to really shift out to the left a little bit, try to buy him some time. Of course, they really trapped up the right side, so he needed to roll left. And he saw his right side. He didn't have a blind spot there, so he really should have made the adjustment and rolled right. So pocket presence, again, going to be a question here with him. I'm afraid to see what he does. His footwork, too. He's a little, I think he's a little stiff with the feet. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, he's a little bit of a shuffler, but he's taking high steps on the shuffles. So I'm okay with that. Nope. Yeah, he doesn't have fast footwork. But supposedly he's a mobile quarterback, so let's see. More pressure coming. Throwing it in the pressure, and he's getting it. Listen, I'll give him credit. A lot of people can't do that. The keeper. And did he get it? He got it. Okay. Bold decision, because that was the play call. Pressure again. Beautifully done.
Pressure by Jeremiah Trotter.
Like, look, they come in here, they're bringing him out. It looks like it's a screenplay. Well done. Travis is just getting rocked out here. 3-man rush. Completed. That was a dangerous throw. Dangerous. Throwing it into that gap. But he got it. That was enough zip on it to take care of it. Good 6, shaking off the tackle. That's all talent right there. It's all on the play, on the skill position player.
Looking for Hill on a wheel.
The fact that was placed that way was insane. I don't care if that was inbounds or not. That was elite level placement. I loved it.
Play clock at 2.
Pressure. Got it. Had some time. Made himself some time.
Right here. You see Keon Coleman. Look at him hesitate.
Look at the hesitation for 4, man. That was a great route. Like a stutter. Good check. Okay, little short out route. Rolls it out. Rolls it upfield, I should say. I mean downfield. Up and downfield, I get that confused a lot. Sorry about that, guys. Rolling out, though, I love that. And it was actually a good recognition there. They thought it was going to 14. It was caught by 4. Let me watch the receiver on this.
And a great job by Travis locating it.
Going across the field. Was it intended for originally? Yes, it was.
Takes Travis a little
well done. Well done. Let's see. He still got some time in here. They didn't blitz. If you don't blitz, I think he's good. He's really good against when he's not getting blitzed. When he is getting blitzed, he's a different quarterback.
Scoreboard says 3rd and goal.
And he got it.
Along the defensive front, Travis recognizes it, tries to find it, somehow finds a lot of room.
Man, wow, that was really good. All right, we'll watch this one here. This is why I needed to see a deep throw. You want that to be straight. He had it ground inwards on this route and had to slow down and cut down a little bit on an angle to make sure he got that. That needs to be in stride. Okay, I don't know if I can give a comp for Travis, but I will say this. He definitely has issues with pocket presence. He's got to know exactly what's going on around him. He's not reading the guys that are in his face coming at him. That's a problem, because if you get blitzed like that in the league, for example, the Steelers bring a blitz at you and you're a quarterback from the right side, you got to recognize that or else you're getting rocked and you may lose that football. You can't have that happen, and that's what I'm afraid of with this kid. I'm a little scared of Travis for that reason. But it's nothing against him. I think in a situation where they're not blitzing, it's fine. He's a very capable quarterback. When he's getting blitzed, I'm seeing issues. That's where everything happens. And it's like having that internal panic in your mind. It makes me think of Jameis. In terms of processing, it's like Jameis Winston. If he's not being pressured, he makes some great throws. Really good throws. With blitz and pressure in his face, there's a struggle and there's bad decision making. And that's what I'm seeing. And they take ugly sacks. So, if he's getting blitzed, he plays like a Jameis. And it's ironic because he played for Florida State. But that's not really a comp you want to have because he didn't pan out in the league. He hasn't. If I had to go with the ceiling for him of a current guy, it's tough to pick one. You know? Like, he's really not a mobile quarterback the way I thought he was. I thought he was more mobile than this. He's again, I think there's upside with him. But he needs to be in a spot with a strong O-line that he knows he can rely on to get him the time he needs. That's it. I can't really give a comp for a ceiling. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see how many more we got. We got Bo Nix next. Bo Nix against Colorado.
For Nix.
Bo. Little rollout. This guy has been mentioned a lot as rising up the draft boards with the way him and Oregon have been playing recently. Bo Nix takes the snap here. 4-man rush all the time in the world, completed short. Wow.
Back to Franklin. 2 quick receptions for Franklin.
I did watch a little bit of this game a couple weeks ago, but I really didn't get to a deep dive on how Nix played. I was more focused on Shador and how he was going to work.
This is basically modern-day triple option offense. Zone read with
dump
an
off,
attachment, get it to the tight end. There's the block right there. Just a little bit of a jersey pull.
His recognition is good. I mean, the play designs are good, and they make sense.
2nd and 9.
Let's see. Another screen. But there were 2 options for that screen, too. Ooh. The creativity by that coordinator is great.
Ball comes out at the end. We will see for Oregon.
Okay. Read option. Little throw out, play action style.
2nd and 10.
Looking 3-man rush. No pressure on that one, so you're able to complete that. Another screen.
Was met that time by Trevor
I want to see what happens when you make Nix really errant. I want to see Nix get a deep ball here. Because so far he's checking boxes. Even that. Like, I know it was a little behind him and he had to do a spin, but it was still in a good spot for him. And here he is, mobile guy. He's not really a runner. Not really a runner.
Quick pass to the outside. And weaving ahead is
he has mobile. He has capabilities to be mobile. Like he's like Geno Smith type of mobile. Like Geno's mobile, but he's not. When he was younger, he was way more mobile. Not like now. He can still run. I'll say Tua. I'll say he's got Tua's mobility. Tua can run a bit. And so can Nix. But look at that recognition. To change his mind and be able to complete that and put it where nobody else can knock it away. I love it. Okay, a little bit of overthrow there, not a problem. His presence in the pocket is great.
Underneath.
Also, I think Colorado's defense is just not good.
Franklin
fella rumbling.
He goes 18
Empty
yards to
backfield.
300-pounder.
Going, pump fake. He's just going to fall. I don't like that.
13 after the penalty. Nick's going to swing it to Irving. And Bucky is met and breaks the tackle. He went. Third down and 9.
We're going again. 4-man rush.
Time, shallow cross goes
good grab again.
Franklin.
It's a management style. I just like that they're not using him in deep passes. But I need to see what he looks like with a deep ball. Is there a clip with him throwing the deep ball in this video?
That insult to injury.
Because this way I can kind of gauge his arm talent. Is he just a game manager, short, medium route style? Or is it more than that? And he gets pressured. Oh, yeah, blockers failed him on that one.
The running back's going to try to get him.
Let's watch it. Okay. Running back takes it. But Dominic, horrible job picking the block there. He ran into his own guy. Oh my gosh, that was bad. Yeah, that was really bad. I can't blame Bo. That's not on Bo. Good placement. Beautiful.
He's a 6'3" receiver running.
It definitely could have been better, but it definitely does the job. Because if 4 turns around, he gets wide.
Diamond formation here on the 2-point conversion. Nix goes to the
his throwing style is crazy. I'm watching the way his body bends.
Exactly. Can't get away with it.
And that's a bad throw. There's your first bad one. This one's probably... Wait, where was he where he threw this? Let's see. Where was he where he threw this? This one. So he's about here. Let me see. 50, 45, 40. He's about the 36 when he throws this. Right? When it gets to the spot he's trying to throw to, it's high pointed, so it's ends up being at this 40 where it's grabbed. The opposing 40. So you're talking about 46, then you got to go to 44, and then 34. I mean, you're talking a 24-yard pass. That's a 24-yard pass, and he somehow shorted it, and he didn't. Like I said, remember what I said earlier with the other quarterbacks about how they got a nice zip on the ball. I think I said about McCarthy. They got a good zip on it, good velocity, darted in. You can't do that when you're throwing a deeper ball. He was trying to throw a deeper ball. He tried to do the same thing, try to throw a dart, but that allows for opportunities for DBs who are a little behind to cut up, use their athleticism to get up high, use that vertical, and take it down. And that's what happened here.
Exactly. Can't get away with it. Oh, there's
it was a poor throw.
I like the matchup he had outside.
You're going to see it again here.
He needed to put this way down the field and give his receiver to run.
You can't throw it flat like that. If you throw it a flat ball, it's going to get pointed up like that and taken. And there's no DB there that's a catch.
Slow these guys down.
Nix gets it to him now.
So I'm a little iffy on that. I didn't like that throw from Nix. I'm hoping that's not a continued trend. That was only a 25-yard pass. There you go. That's better. But that was open. No coverage on him. See? Completely blown right around here. Right there. That's a good throw. I now can see his arm strength a little bit. He's got some good range. I'm just concerned about him throwing a flat ball, which then I'm not thinking of Mariota because every time I think of Oregon, I think of former Ducks.
One by the Buffaloes.
But again, he's been efficient. 2022, he's only missed 2 passes through a pick. One of those passes was a pick that he missed.
Charles Guy,
that's what happened.
Quick to the outside.
Again, it's all management style check down. I'm cool with it. If I'm being honest, and people probably won't like this comparison, I'm seeing Baker Mayfield.
He's going to run it.
I'm seeing a Baker Mayfield comp for Bo Nix.
Supposed to play in the ground.
Cornelius with a
I think his mobility is better than Baker. But he definitely, I think he's got the,
Nix, plenty of time.
I would definitely say he's got Baker's arm.
And too easy of a throw.
He just needs a good style offense where it's like he can be the game manager like he was in Oregon. I think that's what he needs. But yes, this is it for this clip. I'm not going to go any farther than this. Let's see if there's anything else. Michael Penix Jr. I think this is the last one.
Great weapons on the outside.
Nope, there's Jaden Daniels after this.
It looks like he's going to be without one of those great weapons
tonight. This is a guy who's been highly talked about. If I talk about like what Nix will be at, Nix will probably be a second round, maybe first. He's definitely got the upside to be like a top, to meet the expectations that Baker was expected to meet as a first round pick and the first overall pick. He has the potential to be that in terms of what his potential was when he was drafted. But these are good throws so far from Penix. He's coming off a big injury, so
goes off for the running
This season matters.
Nixon in the
for
backfield.
him.
Penix throws toward the corner of the end
Wow.
zone. That one is
On his head.
Jalen Polk came away with it.
I got to see that again.
Spurs did right there.
Actually, let's go back to a couple, the throw before.
Plays. They want the ball down the field.
This one I'm watching.
Michael is willing to check
Good
it
drop
down.
back. Throwing it. He's not afraid to uncork the thing, and he's a lefty. There's not many lefties in the league. This is a big one. If you get another good lefty quarterback in this league, that's going to be a stunner. There's only one right now, and it's Tua.
Michael Penix says Jalen Polk is a sure target.
What a throw and catch by that receiver. Okay, good fake. Throw it again. He's definitely got a little bit of mobility to him for Penix, and he's got that size you want for a quarterback. I don't like this throw. Now, here he is trying to throw this. I think there was miscommunication on that route. Miscommunication on that route.
And some change per play.
Okay.
Which is just absolutely unheard
Another
of.
one going deep there, and he had to stop, but I think that was the smart thing, was to underthrow it.
Fireworks early.
Because if he would have thrown it a little higher and farther, that would have been picked. Or would have been deflected.
That wasn't going to be the way they actually ran
Again,
the play.
I'm liking the little short routes. It's nothing too crazy. He's not really doing screens. This is a guy who can go for big plays if you need it.
And he'll throw it into traffic. It's in.
And why does I say that? Of course. Another one, off-balance throw. Ooh, yeah. This was bad. Excuse me. That was bad. This was off-balance, bad form. Can't be doing this because you lose momentum on that ball, and it doesn't come out clean, and you lose the distance on it, and the range drops. So what ends up happening is these guys come up to it when it's low, and they make the grabs. Like right here, boom, right to his hands. Cal DB in the right spot at the right time. You'll see it again right here. Comes right through. If he's able to get even a second to slow down and set his feet even a little bit, to just get it out and go to the guy running the fly route, it would have been beautiful. Another one that's a little short and behind. Okay.
Down at 3 for Penix and the Huskies.
He's definitely got to work on his touch a little bit, because it looks like he's having some issues with just throwing it.
He struggled mentally, thinking, okay,
like he's a little inconsistent with the
deeper
ball.
Perseverance is something that he hones in this year, now competing for a Heisman Trophy.
All right, Caleb.
I clearly see it.
So second down and long. Washington
another drop back coming here. Perfect amount of time. He's getting out quick though. He's like this. I like the speed coming out of the hand.
Is talented, so he's stepping in now toward the
another great throw. There you go. You made up for how I've been talking. I've been talking down on him, and he just shut me up. What a throw that was. That's what you got to throw.
To be all smiles right now.
Penix had to throw
empty
the ball
backfield, got time.
Second and 10 again.
There's another one short.
Fine.
Goes out of bounds. Perfect.
Penix.
This is like a game, two-minute drill situation, so I'm watching this very carefully.
Penix is finding him. First and 10.
Let's see any options he's going for. Okay, that one would heal that little bit longer. He wouldn't have that realistic in the NFL, not for that long. Especially they bring blitz. 4-man. Got all that time in the world. Throwing it deep again and caught. Oh my goodness.
Penix going deep.
How much of that is on him? Oh my gosh, that placement's ridiculous. I'm telling you, if he gets on one and he gets a rhythm, Penix could definitely compete with the best team. Oh my goodness.
He's got to be a little more focused on this.
He's got the build of a real starter in this league. I like it a lot.
Down Huskies immediately into Cal territory.
He could do a lot with his arm. And he's like mobile in the sense like he can run him, but he doesn't want to run. You can tell it's not what he's comfortable with, but he can run. It's good to know. So like, now I'm going to stop it here. If there was a comp I could give for this, really, in terms of mobility, the running, he doesn't want to run, and he's a big guy. I would say probably, I mean, he's fairly quick too on his feet. I mean, I'm going through teams like crazy. Not Ritter. I wouldn't say Derek. Derek's a pocket passer. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to name any of the rookies. I'm going to try to not do that. I'm not going to say Fields. No chance. Fields is a runner first kind of guy. Jordan, I would say, yeah, that's a good option. Jordan Love in terms of running. I'm seeing that. Like, he really doesn't want to run, but if he has to, he has to. He does everything he can to stay in that pocket and just uncork it. And in terms of that arm talent, Dude, this guy might be closer to... Oof. It's going to be bold. If this guy builds up his consistency and everything, I think Penix could totally rival Caleb Williams in terms of the arm talent and range and distance and placement and everything. He could totally rival him in terms of the arm talent. It's just about, can he build that consistency? So that's yet to be seen. I hope it happens, but that's like his peak. That's his ultimate peak in terms of arm is Pat. If he could hit like above Caleb, that'd be great. But ideally, if I'm making an NFL comp in terms of his arm strength, I'll probably put him in like the Joe Burrow range. I think Burrow is one of those good ones who he has a good range on that ball and can really send it. But the problem with him is there's moments where it's not placed well, and it really makes an impact on the game a lot. So I'll say that. And by the running, I think I'm going to take back what I said about the runner. I think it's more like Deshaun Watson. I'll say Deshaun Watson type of runner for Penix. He doesn't want to run. He wants to be more like a pocket guy, but if he has to run, he's got to run. And he can run. So I'd say Deshaun Watson in terms of mobility and in terms of arm talent right now, Joe Burrow could be better if he hits his ceiling. So that's where I'm at with Penix. Penix is definitely a first-round guy. But he's to me a project, a work in progress. So I think him, Bo Nix, and Caleb Williams should be surefire first-round picks for quarterbacks. But now we got Jaden Daniels. This should be the last one. I'm pretty sure. Yep, this is the last one. Jaden Daniels, people. Here we go. I know it's 11 o'clock now. We're at 3 hours on this show. But it is important that we get this done because I want to be able to rank these guys out and really get a good gauge on them. We'll make YouTube videos about this too, so we get a breakdown for each quarterback. And I'll make chapters so you guys can check in and see, okay, so that's what this was. Got it. And it's all sorted out. Now, let's rewind this back. My apologies. So, Daniels gets hit with some pressure here. Good protection, though, overall. This is Mississippi State. They always provide a decent challenge in SEC competition. He had nothing. He had nothing on this. Oh, wow.
Looking for something.
So he ended up freezing it and just throwing across his body off balance where there was no coverage on number 3. They were playing off on him, and that's an easy catch. The improvisation's great. He didn't have to run. He just kept moving. He let his blockers do the work. When he saw he was getting enclosed, just get it out to whoever you see. Whoever you see that's got a fair chance. Now Jaden Daniels on another run, slide down. Oh, he's a rough slider.
Looks Emery's way. Get him into space, trying to get to the
screen
edge.
Dump off.
Excellent.
But he can catch it too. He's a big weapon in this offense.
That was a loss of 3. Daniels on 2nd and 13.
I would have gone to the. I would have flipped it to the running back again, but that makes sense. Running back was uncovered. Blitz coming in, and that is somehow completed. They loaded this gap up so quick that it made so. I'm very happy that this man knew exactly where he wanted to go and he was prepared for it. They knew it was coming. So they ran like a sticks play. It's like each of these guys are going to run short routes, hook them back, or like run little like tiny slants like this, and they stop right here. This way, knowing that the blitz is coming, he gets a quick option. They're ready. They're prepared for the ball every time. That's what just happened. He gets it out. Boom. He's already flipped and ready. So you got it right there. It's a little bit late for the recognition, which is why the DB was so quick to get there. But it worked.
Empty look here.
But again, that play call is what really helped him there.
Back under the middle for
good throws, all management style so far.
Daniels
pressure coming, completes it off.
Over the middle of the neighbors
crossing route a little bit of a cross. Didn't get the touchdown though. Daniels floats it up. Oh, what a play.
Remember, he was favoring a shoulder moments
concept. You got two guys on the outside clearing.
Let's see the route. How he saw it. Yep, rounded out. Nobody saw him. They moved up into the zone, so they thought he was going to run possibly. They were worried about the running back underneath.
2nd and 2.
That helped a lot.
And quick to the.
Let's see. Takes the snap, looking for guys here.
First down. Gonna take a shot.
That's what I'm looking for with the arm. There you go. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see how he could do in these kinds of situations. A little bit of a deep ball. And he got it. Right there. Well done.
Jaden Daniels has been a perfect
well done. Good
12
placement
for 12.
from Jaden Daniels there.
Do we hear 13? Here's Williams. Williams breaks the tackle. And
linebackers are going to be dropping out here, playing the big zone. So for Daniels, he's just.
Oh, this is like the what's it called? Oh my gosh!
All right, where's my check
it's
down?
a play action. You like fake the handoff. The guy goes into pass protection, and the running back goes into motion, runs a little
Daniels
tiny hook
cuts
route,
back against the
and
green.
comes back and stops right in front of the line of scrimmage. You can dump it if you
Stay
need it.
perfect here on 2nd and 6.
It's like
and
a delayed route. Beautiful.
This
I
time,
love
Johnson
using that
coming up
whenever I'm playing
Russell coming
football 14. Let's say football 14. Because that play, they never see it coming, and it's the most perfect management play.
Thomas with one little
Especially when you're trying to run clock.
Daniels
So
just
good.
looking over the middle of the field.
And it's a
He
short
finds
yardage
6'4"
situation, and I
target.
can't run it. I'd rather
Thomas
throw it.
Jr., who's
But
abnormally quick
good
for
pass there, too. Daniels on a design run.
Wasn't blocked up the play in
Nope.
his first quarter.
Design out. Ooh, that one seems like it was a little slow out of the hand. But I'm not complaining much.
Pulls it.
Daniels, what are you thinking, man? Uh-oh, there's your first negative here. Whoever this old lineman is, he completely missed the assignment. He completely missed the assignment. And he tried to come back this way. And this guy's just ready for it. The answer should have been a stutter and go back. Like, even if you don't, it's 3rd and 3. You can't take it. So I would have just went with the stutter here. Plant and go back. But I'm sure they had to commit to the play. So if you stutter here and you just dig, you cut back, you're fine. You should be able to squeeze out to get those 2 yards.
They were right on to replace him, and that's Johnson.
Like, you'll see it here.
44.
Handoff right here. You see the guys there, and you're watching him.
Yes.
He actually did a great job. He sold that really well. He made it like he was going to go after him, and he reset the plant to go back this way, and he didn't see it. So he needed to now set here and cut back. That's what you needed. And you decided to kind of readjust and kind of go down the middle, and that just was where the sack happened.
Here's
Can't
Daniels
do
on
that.
4th down.
But it's okay. It's one mistake. I'm not going to, butcher a guy for one mistake.
Matchup for Mississippi State.
What a
LSU
catch
does
this
great
was
job
also.
picking up the blitz on the inside, and it's just too easy. There's no contact.
Right in the basket. No need to be
Freshman
special
tight
with
end
it.
was in motion there going upfield as Daniels drives the ball and gets it complete to neighbor.
You're giving Jaden Daniels tons of time.
In terms of
to survey
mobility,
the
he's
field,
definitely got some positives in here
you
for
watch
some
them play
design
Florida
runs.
State
I know
week
it's
1
not
against
too
Jared, running
wild.
back, receiver, and quarterback. That's big.
There's the quick game now.
I'll say, though,
Anderson, and he's wrapped
they're
up,
doing a lot of
tries to spin
management style
through
plays
third
as
down
well.
opportunity.
I'm seeing a lot of this with
things
these
I love about
quarterbacks,
this
which I think
defense
is
is
a
they
big
play with great effort, and their
attractive
quarterbacks
thing now
are
for these
not
guys. They
afraid to
really
mix
like
it
that.
up and try to
If you
get
can pull that off,
that
that's
block.
really good.
3rd down and 9. Daniels, shallow cross.
Another dump,
and
good.
neighbor.
Up in coverage, because on 3rd down, they're just dropping way too many guys deep, and it's just opening up these easy short throws. And
Daniels, pitch and catch. Brian Thomas. It's the 4th straight play action.
Play coming in.
Daniels, pressure up the middle,
Pressure
and they
coming through
take him
lockdown.
down.
coming this way. So you got all this action, and it's forcing Jaden Daniels off his mark, and finally, Mississippi State able to get
13. Daniels, plenty of time. And now is going to tuck and run. He needs 13.
He's got a good
Turns
running
the court,
ability.
working
Okay.
one-on-one.
I think I've seen enough of Jaden. I think, this guy's definitely in there as well. I think he's on the high end of the mid-rounds. I'd say he's about like a 2nd or 3rd. I'd probably say around 3rd round pick. But he could easily be a starter in the league if he wanted to. Right situation, he could steal somebody's job. He could steal it. Totally. He's got what he needs. I think he's a top 5 in this class. He's got some really good intangibles I'm really attracted by. His deep ball's one of them. He definitely knows how to throw. He's got some touch on it. Obviously pocket presence, a couple things to watch, but it was more because they're designing like read option plays. And the read option was blown up on that one, but that's more on how well the linebacker sold it. And there's just no way to adjust to that. When you panic in the moment, that could be coached and figured out. This guy's definitely very coachable. Probably could be a starter in the league, but it depends on the situation. I think for now, high 3rd round pick would be about where he's at. But again, this is where I feel these guys are all at. I definitely have been taking up a lot of time here, people. But I'm going to definitely keep going here. If you guys are new here to the stream, thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you guys want to see more content like this, please give us a follow. We don't do subscriptions because we don't feel like it's right to have you guys give us money to watch our streams. It's just not fair. Or like to really be a member. So I would rather everybody be a member as a follower and just enjoy the content, be able to participate in the chat. So again, Thank you guys so much. If you guys are new, please give us a follow. We really appreciate it. We want to grow this channel a little bit at a time. So thank you. And to Brian Pettit in the chat, hi, happy Friday. We don't have happy feet like last year. Yeah, definitely the happy feet aren't there. I don't know which quarterback you're talking about, but I think I know which one it is. And yeah, it's a little different. It's a little bit different. But I do like what's going on so far here. And now this brings us to our final segment, Week 9 predictions. We're just going to get this out of the way real quick, and we'll make it as fast as we can. So we're going to get rid of the couple of these windows so that we could be finished. All right, and we got our games here. Okay, I got the scores for this week. Let's go through it real quick, discuss what we think is going to happen, what might not happen, what will, what won't.
Hey, we don't. Each and every one of us.
Okay, sorry, that's a clip from NFL.com. We're going to use NFL.com to make these picks today. So here we go, people. Let me actually see if we can do a pick 'em. Can we do a pick 'em? No, we're not going to do pick 'em. All right. Jaguars, Bills. We're going to open that up 9:30. That's going to be in Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. Bring in the highlight scene here. This is where we are at. So, Jaguars, Bills, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London. This game is going to be an interesting one. There's really no home advantage here, really, unless it's for the Jaguars. So, I would probably say I'm going to give the Bills this one. I think the Jags are going to give up a good fight. I'm easily saying Bills. I think they're just too strong of a unit right now to really be taken down. Texans, Falcons, 1 o'clock in Atlanta. That's going to be on Fox. Two squads that are really underrated. Falcons are a bit of a slump right now. And the Texans are in a really good place overall. I think C.J. Stroud's going to outperform Ritter again. And their defense has been lights out for Houston. Give me the Texans. They got off a really big win against Pittsburgh. I would take them over the Falcons here. Go to 3-2 and surprise the world. Another 1 o'clock game, Panthers-Lions. Panthers are still looking for their first win, but they're going to have to get it in Ford Field in Detroit, and that's not going to happen. Give me the Lions. I think that's kind of an obvious pick for me. Titans-Colts. This one's an interesting one on CBS at 1 o'clock in Indy. Division matchups are always unpredictable. I think the Indianapolis Colts get a win here, but the Titans are going to give a really good fight. Really tough fight. So give me them. So far we've got Bills, Texans, Lions, and Colts. Giants, Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. Not even a competition. Next. Saints, Patriots. This is another good one. Saints and Patriots. 2-2 Saints against the 1-3 Patriots in Foxborough. Saints, if they're starting Derek Carr, his AC joint definitely won't be fully intact. Patriots should have an advantage here, but yet again, they should have won a bunch of games already. They should have made them way more competitive, but they're not the same team they once were. So I will take the Patriots here as just a flyer just to see them what they can do here as the home team. I'm hoping Bill gets his team together, but I'm taking the Patriots. Ravens, Steelers, Ravens. I think Steelers give a good fight. Keep it close like always because it's always a tough divisional matchup. It's never more than 10 points like a blowout. It's very rare. I think the Ravens get the win here. Bengals, Cardinals, gotta be the Bengals. Gotta be the Bengals. I don't think they can afford to have the Cardinals beat them. At that point, their season's over if they lose to the Cardinals. I mean it. They lose to the Cardinals, the season's over. That's 4:05 in Glendale on Fox. 4:05 Eagles-Rams on Fox in SoFi in California. The Rams play the Eagles. This is going to be a slugfest of a match. I'm going to lean towards Rams. I'm going to lean Rams just because I think the Eagles are a very good squad, but they're due for a loss any day now, and I'm thinking the Rams are the ones to put that in their face. Because they almost lost to the Commanders in overtime last week. The Rams should be the team to embarrass them and give them their first loss. So give me LA. Jets, Broncos, two teams, 1-3. They don't have very bright futures right now. 4:25 in Empower Field, which is Denver on CBS. I'm taking the Jets. I think the Jets will get a second win with Wilson. They showed a lot of promise last week. Hopefully this is the game they continue to do that while the Broncos continue to dismantle their team. 4:25 at US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Chiefs and Vikings. 3-1 Chiefs, 1-3 Vikings. Chiefs got to win this game. I don't see how the Vikings are going to pull this off. It would be a miracle in a sense, but who knows? Maybe that win they had last week against Carolina kickstart something. I'm still taking the Chiefs, though. That's going to be on CBS. The Sunday Night Football game, Cowboys 49ers on NBC. It's going to be in Santa Clara, California. This is a tough one. Cowboys and Niners. Will the Niners get their first loss at the hands of the Dallas Cowboys? The answer is no. I am taking San Fran in a win here. And Monday night, we'll just get it out of the way here. Monday Night Football. Actually, you know what? We'll save it. We will save it for the Monday stream. So once again, the recap. Cowboys, Niners, we're taking the Niners. Chiefs, Vikings, we're taking the Chiefs. Jets, Broncos, we're taking the Jets. Eagles, Rams, we are taking the Rams. Bengals, Cardinals, we're taking the Bengals. Ravens, Steelers, we are taking the Ravens. Saints, Patriots, we're taking the Pats. Giants, Dolphins, we're taking Miami. Titans, Colts, we are taking Indy. Panthers, Lions, we're taking Detroit. Texans, Falcons, we're taking Houston. And Jaguars, Bills, we are taking Buffalo. And we'll take care of the Monday night pick on Monday when we come back. Weekday mornings again, this show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to try to do morning shows from now on, but again, my work schedule could change things around. Like today, I had a morning shift at work, so I couldn't do the morning. So we did a late night stream instead. Again, thank you all for tuning in. If you are tuning in for the first time, or if you're already a follower, thank you so much. It's always appreciated. And that's going to do it for our show, by the way. This will do it for our show. Thank you guys so much for everything. We did just get one more follower close to our follower goal of 10 followers. We're at 8 right now. Thank you so much, Brian Pettit 34, for helping us out with that. 2 more to go before we hit 10. But until then, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have been great. We'll be back on Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, here on Twitch. Until then, have a great weekend. Enjoy some playoff baseball and some football.